Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade New York by Night. Thank you to everybody who's showed up for Season two's Episode 1 premiere. We're getting back into the swing of things. To get us started, I will do a little bit of a setting introduction for anyone that's new or anyone that forgot after several months of our gameplay. So, to start, it is the year 2017, modern age for our game setting, in New York City. New York City has been under the control of the Camarilla for several years now, following a decades-long war with the Sabbats. Well, the Camarilla controls most of the boroughs anyway. Staten Island belongs to the Anarchs, and the independent clans, which were deep-rooted in the city since when the Sabbat owned it, still have control of their old domains. Our story follows six neonates, young kindred or vampires who have yet to make a name for themselves in the Camarilla Society just yet. Once strangers, or at least nearly so, the six kindred have formed into a coterie of sorts based upon mutual interests and enemies. We're going to go around real quick and introduce them for anyone, again, who's new, anyone that forgot, but how could you? So, starting out, let's have Articus as Felix Cote the Tremere. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your character.
So, it seems I find myself amongst my kin again. The messy backroom politics, the backstabbing, these chantries are no better. Is the right decision to come here? I feel this tight, piano-like string strangling me, a jihad snaking around my neck. Blood plagues, lupin, sabbat? Oh, excuse me, ignore my... Oh, who am I? Where are my manners? Bonjour, my name is Felix Cote. Oh, no, do you mean the shifting bulge right here? Oh, this is Candlestick. He's my friendly rat buddy. I saved him in the sewers from some beasties trying to eat him, and well, he was also a little intoxicated. Might have been my fault, I don't know. But yes, we found like a disease there, and it's a long story. Ah, I did finally find myself a gaggle of ghosts. Is that the right word? Gaggle of ghosts? Nevertheless. I think I've been distracted from my own goals, from helping out the race. That's what I was truly coming here for, and was that even the right decision? I feel completely lost in the city. However, there are those of some that I trust. A coterie of sorts, if you will. Angel, Roland, the two drunkards, whatever their names were. This Lupin, and everything that's happened in the city, where does it even lead? Daniel's back without a word. How'd that even happen? The Setites? What does this all mean? And how does it all connect?
Next, we will have Koznark as Ike Rogers the La Sombra.
Hey, I'm Ike. I'm a wanderer. I kind of found my way to New York or I was just kind of looking for some fellow vampires, but I've been traveling for, I think 40 years before I came back into the fold, and I had heard how many vampires were here in New York, so I thought I could probably find one. When I got here, I was told I had to introduce myself to a prince. Um, but that's okay. I told them I was a Ventru, but after a little while, Claudia found out I was La Sombra, and that caused a few problems. But for the most part, they've kind of accepted me, although a couple people are still kind of weary. I spend most of my time here in the city helping Claudia and Nate and Roland and whatever they need done. I owe Roland a few favors. I may drink a lot of blood at his bar. And me and Kim didn't get along too well, but our relationship is getting better as we get to sort of see the utility of friendship between us and how we can help each other gain. And Angel, him and I are in an odd spot after he staked me recently because he found out I was a La Sombra, but I see it as water under the bridge. It seemed like a reasonable reaction, I guess. And as of yet, me and Felix is strange. I know a little about him, but I really kind of enjoy his weird antics. And, he doesn't seem to get my sarcasm that well, and that's how his pet rat became named Candlestick. For me, though, recently my sire Karen Stark has shown back up in the city. He's kind of interested in continuing my studies as an abyss mystic, and I'm excited for that. But I was rather annoyed because he came back with a man named Grigory Vasil, and I know he's a Jemisi of some considerable power, um, and I know that he's in charge of Nate. But Father is doing some sort of deal with him, and it's just skeevy to me. But Father has asked me to spy on my newfound Camarilla friends for the Sabbat, and I don't really want to do that. And as of yet, I haven't actually told him anything meaningful. Grigori also asked me if I knew a Nate Ward in the city, and I lied. I wasn't going to turn my friend over. The last thing Father gave me before retiring for the night is an archaic book containing the secrets of the Abyss in order for me to continue my studies under him, which I was reading eagerly before falling asleep last night.
Fantastic. Next, we will have Modi Anzes as Nate Ward.
Hello, I am Nathaniel Ward, and I'll try to be a bit more to the point than my two loquacious friends here. In life, I was a revenant, enslaved to the Zamisi, particularly one that I only knew as father. No relation to Karen Stark, apparently. When the war came to New York City, I found my opportunity to escape and sought out the Camarilla, gladly providing whatever intelligence I could to the enemies of the Sabbat. For this, I was embraced by Claudia, the Bruja Primogen. I have stood by her side, learning the finer points of being a kindred and living as part of the Camarilla. However, now is the time for action. The Zamisi have been roaming the sewers, Sedites moving in our territory. I will do what I must in order to make sure we do not get caught unaware.
Next, we will have Elvish Dame as Kim Brown, MD.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kim Brown. I'm actually originally from New York itself, and I worked my way through medical school and years of practices to become the medical examiner at the Hospital Mount Sinai in the morgue there. After working there about a decade or so, one of my colleagues, Dr. Richard Fargus, turned me after a lengthy discussion on the subject, actually, and I became aware of the more supernatural side of the city. I've only been kindred and specifically Malkavian for about a year, and during that time I've settled into the position editing cadavers who die of supernatural causes so as to help keep the Masquerade in the city. Recently, actually, though, I've been oddly targeted by an elder Malkavian named Lily, who, honestly, while I only trust her about as far as I can throw her, has been helping me unlock my abilities. So as things kind of turn up fishy with the prince, I keep getting new clues from all my friends who piece things together, and it's all kind of lining up in a really strange way. So I try to find just connections between everything, and I try to help the friends that I have made and myself get to the bottom of what's going on.
Perfect. And next we will have Zabani as Angel Vargas, the Toreador.
Hey, name's Angel. Well, it's Julio Angel Vargas, but most people just call me Angel. Born and bred in Brooklyn. And I am a Toreador. Now, I know what you're thinking. He doesn't seem like a Tory. And I'm not a painter or a poet or a musician or some shit, but you get like the V8 on the 1966 Mark III Shelby AC Cobra cycling straight. Puts Led Zeppelin to shame, know what I'm saying? After my time in the war, they even gave me my own shop. It's called Celestial Customs, premier car shop in the Northeast. Tends to happen though when you got a shop full of people with super strength and super speed. Those are my ghouls. Dom and his wife Tanya, and Joey and his wife Mel. We also fix vampirically suspicious cars for the Camarilla, kind of like Kim does, but cars. Can't have our presence being alerted to the public. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, I got embraced a few decades ago by the sweetest old lady. Name's Agnes. She's a gardener. Love her to death. I was having a real tough go at things at the time, and she turned my life around. Ironic, right? Lately, I've been running around with Kim trying to figure out some of the crazier shit that's been going on around town lately. Like there's been fucking werewolves and shit, and some of their blood, maybe, some Ravnos, Princess of fuck if I know. I'm a little lost. That's why I keep Kim around. Well, that and she's pretty freaking great.
All right, and last but not least, we have Super Chocolate Bear as Roland Jacobs.
Hello, my name is Henry, but most people don't call me by that name anymore. Please call me Roland. Child of the Mr. Henderson, and yes, that is the Mr. Henderson that tried to kill his prince quite a while ago, and newly sire to Clementine Mayweather. I am a Bruja and recently moved to New York from Philly to start things over after they got a little bit hot. I started a club named the Rebel Kiss, which, for lack of better words, is just a cover for me to dabble in my old business of narcotics. Now, I'm in a little bit of trouble with the local set. I might have bit off a little more than I could chew with that one, but while I was in it, I was able to pay back an old debt to my sire by finding him shelter in New York with the Anarchs, and, well, I might be asking him for another favor if me and the Bruja can't fix my set problem ourselves.
Bueno. All right. So, now that we've met everybody, I'll finish up our story wrap-up from last season. So as Kim and Angel seek to unravel the mystery of the city's werewolves, basically, where is the prince getting this inordinate amount of werewolf blood? What interest do the werewolves have with the company Envotech? And what does the Toreador Thomas Arturo have to do with it? The Bruja themselves face a problem with the Setites, who have not only insulted the Bruja clan directly, but are planning on taking Camarilla territory for their drug and sex trafficking. The Wanderers Felix and Ike have found themselves looped into the city's recent dilemmas, most especially the question about what lurks in the sewers. As Felix recovered video showing Zemisi meeting and traveling in the underground systems, Ike was confronted not only by his sire, with news about the Sabbat moving into the city, but Nate's quote-unquote father as well. So on this season, and tonight as we get started, we will see where our players move next in their efforts to unravel some of the mysteries of the city, get themselves out of trouble, and all that good stuff. So, our last game of last season ended with everyone essentially, quote-unquote, going home, going to bed, whether that was home or not. And let's just basically get everyone started on the next night. If anyone at any point thinks they're going to be trying to call, text, or reach out to someone that they're not with already, let me know that so we can try and plan that timing accordingly. But let's start out with Felix is crashing at Roland's place in his apartment underneath his club. So the Rebel's Kiss has basically a warehouse basement underneath that Roland has had reconstructed and rebuilt to be an apartment for him and his child Clementine. In that place, he thought the apartment was very safe and secure for Clementine to be, especially if she had a babysitter. And that night, previously, Tina, one of his kindred employees at the club, had been watching her. As he arrived home with Felix, he found Dominic and his sire, Yvette, leaving the place and rushed to see if Clementine was okay. Tina was mortified and continued to just apologize over and over to Roland, saying she did what she could, but, 2 Setites was a little more than she could handle. Roland, listened to her and was not too upset. And when Felix and Tina both realized it was a little too close to morning for them to find a shelter or return to any previous domain that they could sleep at, offered them to crash the evening. Or the day, rather. So as the day winds down, sun sets, and evening comes upon us, Felix, Roland, Clementine, and Tina will be waking up in his apartment.
And no Benny, no Sunshine.
No, it was pretty much about dawn. You didn't see them there.
Okay. And if you could remind me, he came downstairs, right? He was able to get past the elevator and everything like that?
Yes, Dominic and Yvette, as far as you understand it, did actually go down into your apartment and were speaking with Clementine. As you were asking Clementine afterwards if they did anything, if they told her anything weird, asked her to do anything, she just kept saying no, and that they were just asking her personal questions. Tina was also there and verified, yeah, they didn't actually try anything. They were just talking to her.
Yeah, I'd probably be giving a text to Nate.
Okay. Felix, you were waking up. You probably actually woke up a little before Roland. A little bit.
He would probably be staring at that text that Jocelyn left him, just as a reminder, because it's been a season, that Jocelyn thought that she saw Aisling walking around back at the Chantry, who had mysteriously disappeared just before a reappearance of a certain Daniel the Zmisi.
Yes, she'd been gone. When she got a hold of Daniel, she went missing about a day after, or at least you didn't know where she was, and Jocelyn didn't either. Another day or two later was when Daniel was found, and Aisling was still seemingly gone out of the city or somewhere for another few days.
So, probably before Roland wakes up, I dissipate Ghost Buddy. I'll still freak out that there was someone watching him all night. But yeah, that'll probably be what I'm doing, is just staring at the text and just being glad that I'm too lazy to actually attempt to text something back, because it would take at least 5 minutes. But contemplating the morning of what's to do.
Alright, so as Roland and Tina still sleep for a little while, Clementine does actually stir from where she was sleeping next to Roland, sits up, and bashfully doesn't look at you, because she knows, that's rude to stare, but she kind of glances over at you now and then.
Let's see. Clementine, was it? Felix, just eyeing up from seeing from the... I guess, is it dark? Do we sleep in the dark?
You could, or you don't have to. You as vampires, you'll pass out when the sun comes up.
I mean, yes, but
There's a nightlight for Clementine.
Okay, so we do sleep in the dark normally. Wasn't sure. Yeah, so the glow of the cell phone, you put that away, and you're like, was it Clementine? Was it? Just kind of softly speaking, because obviously there's two people sleeping.
From the slight gloom in the room, yeah, there's not much light, but enough to see her. She nods a little shyly. Yeah, it's Clementine. What was your name again?
My name's Felix Cote.
It's nice to meet you, Felix. You're friends with Roland?
It's nice to meet you as well. Yes, I guess so. I guess a well-known acquaintance now, whether he likes it or not.
That's funny. Hearing Clementine's voice, Roland, starts to stir himself. Tina, however, still stays kind of conked out on the table.
Is she just sleeping on a wooden table?
Yeah, she didn't.
On the desk.
Yeah, she laid down on the desk.
All right. Sorry, the last thing was, oh, you're funny. I try to, sometimes. So, do you like it here?
Clementine will look around the basement apartment and just nod, saying, "Yeah, I mean, I grew up in New York, though this is a little different."
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't decorated it yet.
I've been talking to Roland about that. I had a couple ideas about some posters that would be really cool. There's a couple movies I really like, and then there's also some bands. I figured if we get some of the posters there, it would make it a lot less kind of dreary down here. There's not really any windows to put any curtains or anything like that up, but I figured you'd also get like just small decorative things or like some more tables, put some things on. She continues going off a little bit because it was apparently something she was interested in.
Why not draw your own window and then put curtains around that?
She starts laughing. That's a good idea. I've always liked drawing with chalk and stuff like that. I was pretty good at it at school, and Roland will be awake now.
Yes. Are you two... Clementine, are you making friends? And you'll kind of just raise up from the bed.
Clementine will stop talking immediately and turn over, looking at Roland. Oh, yeah, I was just talking to Felix. He brought out the idea of, decorating the place.
Roland will kind of, give a look at, give a look at Felix. Yes, I mean, we weren't too busy with the rest of our stuff. We have plenty of time to decorate, I guess.
And that is that.
All right, yeah. Let's actually hop over with Nate. You'll be waking up at your apartment that you share with your sire, Claudia, the Bruja Primogen. Very simple apartment. That's kind of Claudia's style. Like, even if she had the money, which she kind of does, she wouldn't want anything too extravagant. She owns the apartment building, however, so some of the apartments face outwards, have windows, but there are a select number of apartments sort of in a column going up the flights that actually are built to have no access to no sunlight will be able to, get inside the apartment, and she rents those out especially to fellow kindred. The apartment laid out, has a basic little living room, 2 bedrooms, little spare room. She has a secret room in the back for herself, and just a small kitchen for, cleaning up. Not that kindred really need much in a kitchen. Last time on the game, Nate had been with basically the entire gang in Claudia's apartment, discussing not only the Setite situation, but discussing some of the latest information on these Jimissi in the sewers, possible Sabat infiltration. Felix had given the video to Claudia to review, and she realized that would be perfect payment to the Nosferatu to get any more information they need for dealing with the Setites.
Alright, so I'll go ahead when I wake up. I will feel this ever-present foreboding just in the background that Nate can't quite put his hand... No, I'm just joking. So yeah, he'll wake up like normal and go into the main room, probably reading a book or something, waiting for Claudia to wake as well.
As you're sitting in the living room, you're going to hear Claudia just basic kind of moving around, getting ready when she wakes up, getting dressed and all that from her room, but then you'll hear her on her cell phone for a while.
He'll just wait patiently for her to finish up with her phone call.
Alright, it does take a little while. It's good, maybe 15-20 minutes. But then she'll open the door and not exactly surprised, but she'll see you sitting in the main room just reading. Nate, evening. How are you?
I've been having an incredibly exciting past few days. But regardless of that, I'm fine. You?
Fine. And she's going to come around the side of the couch and sit down next to you with a very clear look of her brain spinning in a million directions.
Is there something on your mind, Claudia? You look like you're in 1,000 your mind is going in 1,000 places at once.
She grins and turns to you and says, just one of those moments you feel like you made the right decision, but you're a little anxious if it was or wasn't, and you know you won't find out for quite some time.
Are you talking about Daniel or something else?
Yes, Daniel.
Regardless of whether it was a good decision or not, I mean, was there really another decision that we had there?
Oh, yeah, well, of course, giving him to Samuel was a good idea. I've known Samuel for a very long time. If there was anyone I would want to be the Ventrue Primogen, it'd be him. He's trustworthy, intelligent. It was, in fact, his advice, and I agreed with it. We're going to have Daniel sent to Rikers Island, out of character. That is the main correctional facility in New York. It is actually on an island. Back to Claudia. We're going to have him sent to Rikers Island. Carter van der Weyden, he's the Malkavian Primogen. He actually has contacts there, some stake in the place. I don't know the full details. All I know is that he has a small area in the facility that kindred that she pauses, trying to look for the words. Well, kindred that aren't exactly safe to be wandering free, but aren't necessarily the sort you might otherwise banish or blood hunt, for lack of a better terminology. It's good to keep them there, at least until you can assess them better.
Well, sounds like you made the decision you had to.
Yes, I think it is for the best. Yeah, Daniel doesn't seem to have had much record we could go off of that he needs any sort of punishment. He's obviously not altogether. But also because of that, and because he's a Jamesi, we have even video evidence of him being with what appears to be Sabat. He needs to be watched, and I wouldn't put it on any one single kindred to babysit him.
So why are you... I agree, this sounds like the best course of action. Why are you so anxious about it?
It's not that as much. I think that was the right action for now. What comes next is something else. That's something I think all of us Primogen will have to discuss. It can't be kept there forever. It's a temporary situation. The other problem is Warren, that set-tight ghoul we picked up. Again, I don't think there's any right for us to kill him, but if we let him go, he's obviously just gonna go back and tell them anything he knows, help them, whatever else. Can't banish him, because again, a ghoul is an addict. He'll come back. He'll find a way back into the city. He'll use contacts, whatever he needs. And I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, that one is a bit more difficult. I'm not sure either. But I agree, we definitely can't just put him down like some dog.
Exactly. She's gonna run her fingers through her hair and sort of like set her head in her hands, her palms like pressing in her eyes, just rub them a little bit. Well, at least one down. One babysitting situation has been mostly dealt with.
I mean, for his own good, talking about Warren here. I'm sure we have some connections in the legal system one way or another. Can't we at least get him locked up for a few weeks, get him out of our hair, but still somewhere in human custody by the human legal system, that he can be kept out of our hair, but still not immediately go back and run in with the Setites and unveil what's been happening?
Actually, and she's gonna kind of like scratch at her cheek, that might be, it was an option I was considering. He's a ghoul, and he doesn't seem, from what I've gathered and talking with Byron, who has him right now, it doesn't seem like he's necessarily drank the Kool-Aid of the Setites. I think he's just a ghoul because drinking that kindred blood is best a human can get. If we could get him clean from the Setite blood and offer him someone else's, though I don't know who would necessarily want this young man, but it's a possibility of getting him out of the Setite's hair and not messing with ours.
I mean, not to tell you how to make your own, or tell you what to do, but it sounds kind of like a win-win for us.
It does. I just also hate this feeling of forcing someone to, I don't know. I mean, it was his choice to join with such a disgusting group of creatures, but of course maybe he didn't know what we do. And she's just gonna like shake her head. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, but that is actually an option I was thinking about. I just wasn't sure about how to go ahead with it. Samuel, as usual, suggested just wiping his memory of working with the set, but I've never really liked that idea either.
Well, I mean, Warren is a drug dealer. It's not improper to make him meet justice. He has committed crimes, and we could simply punish him for those crimes he has committed. It wouldn't be anything unfair to him or his station in life.
It just always feels a little hypocritical as a kindred who doesn't necessarily follow the letter of the law every single night. But, good point. Alright, we will check in real quick with... Let's check in with Ike, who stayed in a ridiculously luxurious hotel suite with his sire, Cairn Stark, the Lysambra. Also staying there is Grigore Vasale, a colleague, for lack of a better term, of Cairn's, who, as Ike mentioned in his introduction, he figured out was a Jamissi because he is looking for a certain Nate Ward. And Ike does know a certain Nate Ward. Well,
So just wake up.
yeah, you're going to be waking up in your room. What are you doing?
I'll probably get up. And do I hear anyone else up about the hotel room?
It sounds pretty quiet.
I will read a bit of my book until I hear someone coming around.
Alright, so you were given this large leather, very old looking tome from Karen, who explained that it will be your first true step towards becoming an Abyss Mystic. He taught you a lot before he disappeared and left you wandering the states by yourself, but it was mostly general occult, La Sombra history, that sort of things. So he is now truly starting you on your path towards abyss mysticism. This book, he explained, would also discuss the idea of paths and the one that you will take over normal humanity morality. So as you begin reading, it begins discussing how you need to separate yourself from the morality you knew as a human, and that as unknowable as the abyss is, that must become your main focus, and the only thing that envelops, your nights is knowing the abyss, and also learning to not fear the abyss or the dark. And you continue reading, and further into the book, you even start to see some small basic explanations of rituals, and one that discusses the concept of being able to permanently see in the dark, as if you were looking through a clearly lit room. After you continue reading for maybe an hour or so, you'll hear what sounds like from the middle of the living area some nice sharp dress shoes clinking across the wooden floors. But it's not coming to your room, it's just, you just hear someone moving.
I'll go out to the living room and just kind of like sit on a chair, like lounge on a chair and continue reading and just kind of keep an eye out, see who's moving about, waiting for Father to wake up.
Well, as you open your bedroom door, you actually see your sire, Cairn, walking along. His walking stick that he usually has with him, his cane, is resting in one of the nice armchairs in the living room. And you see him just walking over to the kitchen area. He opens a small drawer and just takes out some scissors. Walking back, and you see there was a newspaper sitting on the table.
Like I said, I'm gonna like sit down and just continue reading, not really say anything to him quite yet. Just continue reading in my book, flitting through the pages.
As you continue reading, he starts looking through the newspaper himself, and he's clipping out one or two small things. Without looking over at you, he begins a conversation. Like, I was worried you were sleeping in late, but I take it you've gotten started on your reading?
Yes, Father. I've been up for, I think, an hour or two now. Yeah, about 2 hours, just getting some reading in. I was eager to get started.
Good. And he'll finally look over at you. What do you think of it so far?
Absolutely fascinating. I can't wait to get started. I've been practicing as much of my tenebration as I can in your absence, and maybe even picked up a few tricks you haven't seen yet. But obviously, you have to be led through these. Not something you can do on your own. So I'm very excited to try them, Father.
Good, of course. I take it you would have read about the sight ritual.
Yes, if I am to understand, that is the first step.
That is the first one you would learn, of course, yes.
Well, I believe with the studies that you've given me into the supernatural and all of everything I've learned so far, I believe that I'm more than equal to the task and able to complete this, even with just learning about it, especially with your guidance, Father.
I'm glad to hear it, Ike. Listen, and he begins pacing, not nervously, just in a manner of getting himself moving as he speaks. And as he sort of paces slowly around the large living area, he has his hands behind his back and speaks to you directly, saying, Listen, Ike, that first ritual, it is, in a manner, quite easy for someone of your learning. As far as you've learned from the occult teachings I provided, and perhaps what you may have even learned in your own time, as well as your strength in obtenebration, you should have no problem, I believe, in testing it. But every ritual of the Abyss Mystics, the Shadowed, can come with a great price if done incorrectly. If you fail at any of these, it is not a simple backfire. It could permanently alter several things about you and nothing easy to bear. So, while I would encourage you to go ahead and give it a try when you're ready, just be aware of what could happen.
Of course. Are you not going to walk me through the first ritual? Am I to do it on my own?
I can provide guidance if you prefer. Some like to do it on their own, especially in the case of things not going so well.
At least if you could supply the proper materials, Father. I don't have them personally.
He laughs at that and says, "There's no physical materials you need. Listen, if you do want to take this on this evening, I will walk you through it."
I should be very excited to do that, Father.
Of course. And he stops his pacing and starts walking back to the chair he was sitting in and sits back down. He grabs his cane and starts fiddling with it a little bit. There is, however, something I want to discuss before that.
Of course, Father. What is that?
And we will check in on Angel and Kim, who are taking a little nap in a van down by the river. I mean, it's actually right next to a river, so.
Okay. I don't know, are we the same humanity? I didn't know if somebody woke up before the other one.
Yeah, sorry, I was just switching some music. Alright, so, 1 second.
I am at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. Alright, so, last game and the end of the previous in-game evening, Angel and Kim were about to go home when they rather impulsively decided to go and follow up on the address Angel found for Jeremy the werewolf, or Lupine, that has Sarah's brother captured. So Sarah and Greg, two kindred, mysteriously showed up in Angel's life and had been snooping around his office, obviously trying to find something. Angel and Felix, in tow, confronted them and eventually got the truth out of the two that Sarah's brother was kidnapped by a werewolf. As far as Angel could make it out was that these three were good at getting information, so the werewolves found that out and took one of them as blackmail, as leverage for the other two to go and find them the paperwork they needed that at least the werewolves believed belonged to the kindred. Now, Angel did find this information that was apparently stored in his office by his sire. Definitely set him off a little uncomfortable. Yeah, naughty sire, bad. But now with this paperwork in hand that the werewolves were looking for and Jeremy's address in tow, the two took off in Angel's sunproof van in case anything went wrong. Once they arrived, however, since werewolves live like normal people, it was late for them, as the sun was only about another hour away. And they didn't have the kindred at their place. So they told Angel and Kim to come back the next evening and they could make the exchange. Angel and Kim weren't really going to be able to make it back to their places in time with the sun coming up within about 20 minutes, so they are just taking a wee nap together. Which is a little bit rough for our doctor here. Doctor, you want to tell us why?
Kim has, and actually this doesn't have anything in particular to do with her being a Malkavian, she does not like touching people or people touching her at all. Just no. Nope. No. She won't shake hands. She will not hug people. Which says something because of back when Ike kind of was having some emotional issues, she actually did like touch him and wipe a tear away from his eye. That is the only time that she has ever touched someone.
All right, so yeah, you two are about the same humanity and don't have any reason to otherwise be deterred from waking up. So the sun like fully sets. It's just maybe like the tiniest tinge of orange right at the horizon. You two start waking up.
Huh. You know, in retrospect, I never actually figured out a way to make sure that the sun was down before I left this place.
What?
Let me give my phone. Give me. Sorry. Nope. There it is. I'm basically going to check the time and make sure that the sun would be down, because I never actually installed a feature that does that.
That's
Just set up a
really
little
good-
outside
good-
camera.
Good thing to know. Yeah, no, just
It's definitely a thing I need to add. And presumably we're good.
Yeah, since it's heading towards very end of spring. Sun is going down a little later with summer and all, but it's about like 8:45. So yeah, you would feel like maybe give it another 5 minutes and then you'll be safe for sure.
Well, just to be sure, I figure we sit here for a second. Sorry, I know it makes you uncomfortable, but gotta do what you gotta do.
okay. Yeah.
And
no,
I will very intentionally avoid actually touching you as best I can.
That's actually very nice of you. Thank you.
So a little time passes, and Angel feels confident enough that he can open the doors and get out of the van.
Oh, one plus side in not being alive anymore. Sleeping like that would have fucked up my back.
All right, and I believe you guys just decided to find a random parking lot that was
Tried to find something that's a little bit out of the way in case the werewolves knew what our car looked like.
Yeah.
All right. But Jeremy did agree that if you guys came back the next night, he would have everything set up for you.
All right. So here's your question: these papers, where do we actually put them? Because
I don't. That kind of is a problem, isn't it?
I want to just like look at places near me on maps.
Are you just gonna put them in a dumpster?
I mean, that's not a terrible place as long as the dumpster doesn't get picked up. I mean, yeah, we need to figure that out. Like, do we bury it or like?
That's yeah.
Ask him to dig it up. That won't go badly.
Oh God, maybe not. Yeah, no. I don't think maybe burying it is a good idea. Though.
I mean, they are basically dogs, right? They like digging.
I think that would be the implication that might in fact make them angry. Yeah. All right. Let's just. Shit. I have a briefcase. We could just take it with us.
Yeah, but see, my concern is we give them the papers, right? And then they kill us and the vampire they got hostage because werewolves don't tend to like us very much.
That's a very
that is my primary.
That's a point that I thought of too. Yeah, I just thought I would bring it up anyway. I don't know. I think honestly, probably hiding it in like a trash can or maybe a mailbox because the mail's not going to come by now.
Yeah, that's fair.
So stuff it in a mailbox, in somebody's mailbox.
That's fair.
And hope they don't pick it up.
I mean, obviously we Oh, that's how we do it. So you know they got that little flag, right? Like I ain't never had one of those, but like that little flag that says mail's out, mail's ready to be picked
Yeah.
up. We find someone who's delivering mail, which means they've already dealt with their mail that day. Bam.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, then
So
just
yeah,
tell them to go to that address.
we'll
and
go
pick up the
find
mailbox.
we'll go find a rural area, or suburban area. That's what I'm looking for. My brain is not
We're
braining
in
right now.
Queens, aren't we? We like suburban where?
No, we're up a little bit. Like the werewolves lived in a house, right?
Townhouse. So rows of townhouses.
You can still put it in an empty mailbox that's on somebody's
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
Those little mail flappy things.
All right, so we'll go find an empty mailbox and remember the address.
All right, so you're gonna find a random address. Are you gonna like in the area of the townhouses or outside that area?
A little bit of ways, like somewhere they'd have to go 5 or so minutes to get there, so we can have been long gone.
Okay. All right. So Angel and Kim driving along in the van head toward the townhouse area, but you find some another apartment building or two. There's nearby another townhouse complex, but not the same one, kind of separated.
Yeah.
So you could use that one.
Seems as good a place as any.
Yep, I know, I agree.
All right, so if you guys pick a place and write down the number,
Yeah.
You'll be good to go.
Yeah, so we do that. Now let's go talk to some werewolves.
Hey, we did it last night. We can do it again.
Yeah, but now they're expecting us. Let's go.
So you head back into the townhouse complex where Jeremy lives with what seemed like at least 5 other people, just from what you heard at that time of night that you stopped by for a few minutes. As you approach again, it seems like there's a couple people hanging outside. It looks like the lights are on inside and people are moving around. Seems like it's got a bit of a busy atmosphere normally.
And so we will pull up.
Oh boy. Busy atmosphere in a werewolf house. This cannot...
It's my favorite.
If this turns out to be a werewolf frat house, I will be very angry with myself.
Let's just do this.
So you park, and once you get out, as soon as you get closer to the house, the 2 people outside, a young man and a young woman, the woman you recognize as the one who opened the door the previous night, she spots you, and without even a word, she just leaves the conversation she was having with that young man and walks inside the house. The young man leans against the house with his arms crossed, just watching you two.
Activating Quick Insight, which, by the way, at this point means that I'm getting relatively low on blood points.
Yep. Kim, you're also very hungry.
I know. I am very fucking hungry.
Yeah.
Also, I'm doing Auspex with the auras, I think. I really want to be able to read people's emotions, yeah.
Okay.
I need to roll for that, don't I? Shit.
Yep, I'm getting it pulled up.
Actually, I'll do the same thing, because...
It's really nice to be able to read intentions, even that split second is really nice.
Especially when I have slowed down split second.
Yeah. Perception and empathy against 8.
No.
Oh no.
I didn't botch.
No, I know. Yeah. You good.
I just didn't.
Wow.
Angel, on the other
successes.
hand.
Wow.
Damn, Angel! What the shit, bro?
I am freaking the fuck out, that's why.
Alright.
So is Kim, and that's why she didn't do well.
Alright, so
Yeah, but
the young man The young man has, like, medium-length, messy brown hair. He's just wearing, like, a regular long-sleeve shirt and jeans. Nothing really stands out about him that much, except when you do check out his aura, you see a mix of purple and light green kind of moving around each other. So that tells you he's feeling a little aggressive and distrustful, although he is not making any physical movements. And like last time you used aura around the people at this house, it is just bright. It is a brilliant, like, flash of color around them, which you've never seen on a human before, and you know that kindred have a paler aura, so this definitely makes you think this is another werewolf.
Yeah, they got fuck tons of life in them.
Alright, so as you wait there, unless you're doing anything else...
I'm not gonna approach this guy and start up a conversation, if that's what you're asking.
Alright, as you wait a little bit, eventually the door opens and Jeremy comes out. He is a decent height, definitely has some good muscle tone on him, covered in a decent amount of tattoos, especially one full sleeve. He's got a thick dark beard and hair, looks like maybe a little Mediterranean, something like that. And he comes striding down the porch across the small yard and faces you guys with a good maybe like 3-yard separation. You have the paperwork?
Not on us, but we can show you how to get there pretty quick.
What do you mean,
Yes.
how to get there?
It's a little ways away.
We put it in an accessible place. We just didn't want to have it on us.
The young girl that had greeted you guys the other night comes walking up behind him, stands close, but doesn't make any moves. The other guy is still just standing against the house. You put it somewhere, and I've got to go scavenger hunt find it.
No, we tell you the exact address. It's just, I'm sure you know as well as we do that you could fuck us up. So, you know, trying to keep ourselves safe. Don't know anything about you as a person.
And unless you're an idiot, you should know that you could easily be telling me this is a lie. You expect me to hand over the person without even seeing that you have the paper?
Why don't you send someone when we want to see that they're okay? Once we see they're okay, we'll tell you where the address is. You can send someone, have them call if they find it, and then we make the exchange.
He gives a big sigh and kind of looks like he's thinking about that for a moment. Alright, but you don't leave with the vampire until I know that that paperwork exists.
That's fine.
Not a problem.
So he waves like 2 fingers for the guy that's leaning against the house to move forward, and the girl that was with him as well will walk just right past you. They give you a little bit of a snarl, but they don't touch you. They don't even like really get too close. And they walk to a car that's parked about a couple houses down, and they wave you guys over.
Okay.
I guess I'll go.
Yep.
I want to keep eyes on Kim though.
So they give a quick little look around the area. It's pretty quiet. There's like maybe a couple kids down the street like riding their bikes. They pop open a trunk and you see a tarp covering a, large figure underneath. And they flip back just a bit of it. And you see a kindred there with eyes wide open and not moving. This the one you're looking for?
I'm going to damn it. You're the gypsy, I presume?
He doesn't talk.
I mean, he can nod though.
Nope.
He's not like moving at all.
Nope.
Is he stanked?
Are you asking in or out of character?
Do we see it?
I'm not
They
going to ask
just pulled
out
back
loud,
the tarp
like-
a little bit. They just pulled just
Okay.
to show his face.
I mean, the agreement was making sure he's okay, not that you have his body.
He's fine. He's just staked. I'm just asking if this is the right guy.
Oh, with Auspex,
please.
I would see an emotion.
Lots of light green, very distressed.
Okay,
super
which
pale.
means that he is alive. He's fine. I mean, he's kicking.
And pale, so definitely a kindred. He does have the same kind of dusky colored skin that Sarah has. That at least, you don't have a picture, just a basic description she gave you.
Yeah.
All right, fine. The address is 329 Hamilton Street.
Great. And the young man is going to slam the trunk closed, and the two of them are going to get in that car.
Wait, whoa. No, you're leaving him here.
We'll stay here until you find it.
We keep, that way when you find it, we're off with him. When you find the papers.
The young girl and guy were, like, half into the car, like, foot in the car, and hear you say that, and then step back a bit and say, fine. They look over at Jeremy, and he's a werewolf. It's only about 2 blocks down. He can hear, so he just nods. And so the girl comes back out, sits on the trunk, and the other guy goes and gets in a different car and heads off. All right. We got to everybody in the morning, and I think some of you guys are about to start meeting up soon. So how about we have our first little break? AMA time! Back to the AMAs! Who wants to go first? Alright, Angel and Kim, you wanna go? Alright, we will start with Zabani as Angel Vargas. Anyone that's new, when we take little breaks, we do Ask Me Anything sections for our players and their characters. You can ask them as a player or as a character, anything you want. They will answer your questions. Just type it in the chat, and we will do that for a few minutes as everyone gets a little breather, goes to the bathroom, gets a drink. So go ahead and ask Angel anything you would like.
Yeah, ask me things. Have fun. Let's do this.
So, does Angel think Jeremy's cute?
I don't know.
I got a picture up.
I mean, probably. He's tatted, and I feel like that's kind of what Angel's into. Is more of a rougher looking fella.
Likes the tatted bears.
Oh, is it just both of us at the same time?
Yeah, we can do both.
Yeah, sure, why not? All right, Kim Brown, what is your derangement, and how are you managing it when dealing with the other kindred? My derangement is sanguinary animism, which most of the time doesn't particularly affect me, as I try to live off of blood bags more than anything else. Not because of any particular moral reason, just because the particular details of my derangement is that when I drink the blood of someone, I get, at best, bombarded with memories from that person, and at worst, I think that I am that person, and I am driven towards self-destruction. So, managing my derangement is a bit exactly related to managing my own hunger and seeing how long I can go without having to actually feed on somebody. I try to pick people, honestly, that don't look like they have that bad of memories, so that I don't see shit that I don't really want to see. But it's hasn't really become a problem yet, but it kind of is starting to, because I haven't been able to eat in a minute. So that actually might come up this game.
Yeah, we're both sitting hungry, or sitting on E. Okay, so I've actually got 2. One is, how does it feel getting back to Angle after a break? I don't know. I don't know enough different characters that it's easy to jump between different characters for games. However, I do miss Angel because I love his dynamic with Kim, and I love how he can kind of get himself into a little bit of trouble because he's not the smartest guy. I mean, he's not dumb, but would Angel get along with my Anarch character? Oh God, no. they would hate each other so much. Angel is a tried and true consummate Camarilla, and Otto is so not into the Camarilla. Not to mention Otto blackmails people, and that's just wrong. Angel likes to protect people. They would hate each other. Am I finding myself by the impulse? Okay, driven by the impulse to find that entrancement to reconnect to humanity as most Toreador, and if so, has it driven the best or worst out of you? So my entrancement has not come into play very often. I don't. So if you don't know, as a Toreador, my art is cars. So I love fixing cars. I love making them. I love fixing cars. I love making them better, making them prettier. I own a premier northeastern car shop. It's really nice. So I don't. So I get kind of the regular just enjoyment of my art. I've only really had to deal with my entrancement since we started gaming once, and that was mostly when I was trying to research something and I got extremely distracted.
Ended up not being able to research anything
because I was looking up pretty cars on Google.
Yeah, it's also only come into effect mildly besides that, where, like, basically Kim asked him about the specific aspects of something, and he ended up, like, going off on a very long tangent about cars, and it was adorable, but it was also like, no, honey, come back.
And there was the one time, actually, that the Ravnos, so this guy that I've got in a trunk right here is a Ravnos. His sister and a friend of theirs actually used my entrancement to get me distracted so they could search my place once.
That's called espionage.
Why not? Modi, you got a question, brah?
Yeah, I was gonna type it out. So yeah, to Macabre to respond to that. So first of all, he didn't know Ike was the Lasombra for a good long while because he actually played a very convincingly of being just a unaligned. What is your venture? Thank you. Unaligned venture for a while. So he was really got to know Ike. Really, Ike is a genuinely good guy, and he was pretty convincing. And on the flip side of that, Nate, as much as he dislikes the Sabbat, he really dislikes specifically this is Missy Moore, and specifically that disconnect. He was that disconnect that Zamisi have from humanity and just the way that they treat people like cattle. With the Sabbat, it's Nate has less experience with the Sabbat as a whole, so he's more focused on anti-old Zamisi and the fucked up shit they get to. So we'll see. And right now, because Nate noticed that he's come from a dark place and come out of it, that he has hope that Ike is legitimately doing the same.
All right, great AMA. So got some good questions for Angel and Kim, and even a nice one for Nate. Let's get back to the game. Roland, you are still with Felix and Clementine in your apartments. Tina is like just starting to rouse and like get herself up off of that desk she fell asleep on. And you did say that you were interested in reaching out to Nate.
Yeah, just a text that says Dom found a way into my apartment. We need to talk.
My response is going to be short and point, or short and to the point. Yes, whenever you're free.
Can you come here?
Sure. Now?
Sure.
Were there any emoticons with that?
Oh, fuck.
Nate might have misappropriately used, or misused an emoticon, randomly put an eggplant in there.
If he puts an eggplant, it'll be the blonde chick who has her hands in an F. And a stop sign, a stop hand. Yeah.
Clementine's gonna lean over while Roland texts because she likes that he's learning how to do it and emoticons, and then see the eggplant and just look up at him and shake her head. No.
She doesn't know what eggplant means.
She knows it's bad. She knows if boys send you an eggplant, it's bad.
Any eggplant, all eggplants are bad. Correct.
If boys send you an eggplant, it's bad.
So, all right, and you're saying the chick who works for me is starting to stir?
Yeah, Tina is starting to wake up. Chick who works for me.
It's been a while.
Oh, wait.
I said her name 3 times already.
Am I in the scene?
Yeah, you're in the scene.
Yes,
buddy.
you are. You just saw Roland texting.
Sexting? Sorry.
I mean,
Phoenix,
maybe.
are you... what are your plans for today?
Kind of like every day. Play it by ear.
Well, of course, you're always welcome to stay around, but today might be a little bit busy for Clem and I.
So Tina swings her legs around the desk, sees you two talking already, and just is just kind of brushing her hair with her hands. Everything all right, guys?
Yes, everything is fine. Tina, whenever you are ready, I need you to walk me through exactly what happened last night with Dom.
Yeah, of course. And she doesn't really look at you. She's trying not to look too embarrassed, but she's just staring at the wall across from her. So, I was down here checking on Clementine.
Nope. I'm going to walk out of the elevator, and I need you to lead me exactly where he went, where he stood, what him and the woman did, where they went.
Right. Well, I was already down here.
Okay, and...
I heard the elevator coming down. I figured it was you, maybe one of those Nosferatus you let hang down here. Then the doors open, and bam, the ginger and the slut, whatever, Alright, so they come walking in. And I immediately ask them who the fuck they are. They start off with some of this bullshit about, they know you, and as if they own the place. I'm trying my best to get them out of here. I can tell, whoever the fuck they are, they shouldn't be here. Clementine, sweet thing she is, was being friendly, and she suddenly realizes Clementine's in the room, and she coughs a little. They just start asking me questions, who I am, start moving in some kind of aunt and uncle meeting their niece for the first time. Look, they were fucking sleazy, and I'm not saying they're obviously got something planned, but they really didn't do anything else but ask questions.
Did they walk to the desk? Did they walk to the bed? Did they walk to any counters, any lamps? Did they touch anything?
The lady actually stayed kind of close to the elevator. Looked like she was just watching everything that went on. She didn't move too much. Dom walked up to me. I was standing by the desk, I think, and so yeah, he was just trying to make some point about he was welcome there and he knew you, whatever else the hell, just bullshit. Looked at Clementine, didn't even move toward her, just started asking her some questions about how did she living here and school and hobbies, and she was shy at first, but when he started asking her what she liked, she opened up a bit. I was trying to kind of tell her to tone it down, but I also didn't want to, give too much away to whoever this asshole was. I was watching the situation. If I had to, I would have, I would have done anything to make sure she was all right. Trust me, Roland. I ain't gonna let, little kid get hurt. But they didn't make any serious moves. They barely even moved around the apartment. They didn't look for anything. They didn't touch anything. They didn't leave anything behind. I kept my eye on them.
No, and Tina, you did fine. It's the security upstairs.
I ain't trying to defend myself, Roland. I'm just saying that's it. This had to have been just a show of power. Upset you. I mean, I ain't saying it's nothing. I'm just saying there's no bombs planted. There's no bugs. You didn't touch anything, really.
That's
I even
good.
went over the place after you left.
Tina,
After
I
they
appreciate
left,
it. You've done so much. Please, all the hours you've been here will be reflected on your paycheck. If you want to go home,
Roland, don't worry
please.
about it. You got me a good job here. It's a good place to crash. You let me take a bite or two here and there when I want it. It's fine. I didn't do my job. I'm babysitter, and that didn't work out so well. And she, she's got that kind of brouhaha, like don't try and flatter me.
Right. Well, thank you. If you don't need to hang around here, I have Clementine. You feel free to leave or to stay. Whatever you need, just let me know.
Yeah, of course. Look, I think I should get out of here unless you need something more. Of course, I'll be back for my shift tomorrow night.
What is today?
It was Thursday, so it's now Friday. Tomorrow will be Saturday, etc. So it's actually the weekend, and then that's why the last session or so, Helena, who has the Succubus Club and wants to plan an event with you, was going to meet with you in the next couple days to actually get that going.
Roger.
But not this weekend. It'll be the next.
Yes. Yeah. No. Tina, no, please go home. You need your own time, please.
Yeah, no. You got my phone number. Give me a call. You need anything. Let me know if you yeah. And she'll kind of quickly pace towards the elevator and get out of there.
He'll wait for her to leave before he does anything else.
And do I have it correct that Nate was gonna head right over?
Yep.
All right. So you were in the apartment, still talking to Claudia a bit. You get your text from Roland and start texting him back. And if you look like you're about to leave, Claudia is just going to casually ask, like, where you're heading.
I need to. Roland asked me to come by and speak with him on something. Apparently, things with the Setites aren't getting better.
Wouldn't imagine so. Keep me in the loop. Give me a call if you need. I have Byron coming over later this evening. If you can make it back, if not, that's fine. We're just going to try to discuss exactly what we might want to do with Warren.
Yeah, I'll let you know what I have going on.
All right, good. Stay safe.
He'll just smile at that and walk through the door.
All right. So during the time that Roland was speaking with Tina, Nate would be heading toward his apartment underneath the club. You guys, actually, Claudia's apartment is not very far at all from the club, so it would be maybe 15 minutes. So shortly after Tina leaves would be when you arrive, but Roland, you were just speaking to Felix about what he was up to.
Yeah.
So Felix will just kind of glance at Clem and then back to Roland and be like, so is there anything you want to talk about?
And he'll kind of sit there and scratches out of date goatee. Felix, you're pretty new to this city, correct?
Yeah.
You have no real loyalties to any of the higher ups.
No. I'm more of a wanderer, and I kind of keep that title usually.
And you don't exactly seem to be persuaded by money.
No, not really. I live off mostly less than 20.
Right. Is there anything I could do of interest for you, or to hire you for any kind of work?
I mean, a place to stay.
I have that. Yes, that shouldn't be too big of a problem.
It's a lot more convenient than trying to make a makeshift bed out of trash cans.
A permanent residence?
No, I'm pretty easy. You just point to a corner. I usually just like safer areas. But, I have means to handle less safer areas as well.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering, in case I have some work that needs to be done. I'm sure you know there's problems that come up in my line of work, and I don't. I'm sure I could use a man of your skills and talents coming up.
Sounds like something I'm willing to help with.
Is there anything you need help with?
Well, as the Tremere say, there's typically always Tremere problems, but maybe some more of these information, maybe. Trying to figure out something. Oh gosh, what was it called again? StorytellerSpira.
What was that?
Is it Endo the company? I don't remember.
Envotech.
Some information on the company Envotech would pique my interest.
Now, that is something I might be able to help you out with. What kind of information?
Well, I don't know much of businesses, but I believe you do. I bet there might be some dirty laundry in them.
Yes, but pertaining to what? Just like tax fraud, or the fact that they fund some kind of coup in Nicaragua? Like what kind of information are we talking?
More of probably closer to slave trade or moving of human parts.
That I might be able to help you out with.
Is that normal in the city?
It's more what my old life used to be, but yes, dealing with large corrupt corporations was something I used to do quite a bit. So give me some
You
time.
own a lot of giant corporations?
No, it's not important. Yes, I can help you.
About this time, Nate will arrive, finding a parking spot near the club and walking through the back alley towards the elevator that leads into the basement apartments that he has access to because he's worked with Roland and is Clementine's fencing instructor.
So, yeah, when he arrives, he'll simply walk in and just approach looking at Roland expectantly, with an eyebrow raised.
Nate,
Roland, so are you good to discuss things now?
Yes. So I came home last night and Dom was here, fully past my security in the apartment.
That's a bit troubling.
There's key codes to get in. There is. I set this place up to be a safe
way,
haven.
Really quick, is Clementine clearly visible when I walk in?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you going to say something to her? Or
No, because if she wasn't there, he'd be like, Clementine's safe, right? But no, since she's right there and obviously looking fine, he's going to let you finish. Sorry.
Right. Obviously, he meant no harm. He might have been able to. Tina was here watching, but he came into my house, Nate.
Obviously, he was just simply trying to make the statement that he goes and does what he pleases.
We need to deal with him sooner rather than later.
I'm still in agreement with you on this.
I'm starting to go along the lines of sooner rather than later, even if we have permission from your sire or not.
I understand that viewpoint and can sympathize. And you might not be wrong. But let's think about this for a moment before we get to that point.
I called you here so we could discuss it, and I am willing to talk to your sire about all of this, but if she keeps on wanting to go and talk to others and tiptoe around this whole situation and make plans, then I will, even if it has to be in secret, go and take him out by my own means.
I just want you to know that she does appreciate your situation. She's tiptoeing because of her position and not out of any other motivation. We all want Dominic taken care of.
There's nothing.
I'm willing to help you, even if that means hiding potentially some of this from her. That's fine. But we're going to do this right.
I don't even know how I can keep him out and away from Clementine if he is able just to walk through my front door. Where is she going to be safe from this? He can just... there's very few people who even know how to get down here. How would he even figure that out? So, one, I have to deal with that. And two, I almost went after him last night, just seeing him outside of here. And then hearing that he came down here and interrogated Clementine. We're getting very close to my edge, Nate. I'm almost pushed over it. So let's handle this quickly, or I'm going to have to handle it.
Have you stopped and even possibly thought about the fact that he knows exactly what he's doing? This isn't the first time he's done something like this. He wants you to go over the edge. He wants you to get sloppy. He wants you to get angry. Because you'll do something stupid if you're full of emotion, if you're not thinking straight. He knows. We're going to do this right, Roland. Promise me, if we do anything, we're going to keep our heads about us and do this right.
I called you, didn't I? It's not like I just went after him. I didn't just wake up this morning, fill a bag full of bombs, and firebomb his house. We are talking. I have my head about me. We are talking about this. So let's get in the car. Let's go talk to our dear Primogen and see what she feels about the situation, and then we can go from there. I'm assuming she's not too busy for us.
I'll need to talk to her. There's other matters going on that have to deal with it. We're dealing with that ghoul currently and what to do with him, that I'm not sure if right now is the best moment. But I have to ask, is there some place we can leave Clementine in the meantime that isn't here? Maybe some place that he doesn't know you own.
Wait, someplace who doesn't what?
Is there some place we can leave Clementine that Dominic doesn't know you own? Or have connections with?
Claudia's?
Yes, that's an option. I just didn't know if Roland wanted to exercise that.
Well, it would either be Claudia or Dr. Kim seems to be rather fond of her, or my sire, and I'm not sure how I feel about her being around my sire, so Kim or Claudia.
Sorry, I don't know what that noise was or why.
I didn't hear a noise. Is it from my end?
I think it was Discord, because I don't hear anything
I
else.
feel like you were the only person who didn't hear it, which means that it might have been your end.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, so it's probably your end.
It was like a hornet got stuck inside your microphone.
Yeah, it was like...
Oh, you know,
Anyway.
the old microphone hornets.
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's Washington State. We get microphone hornets all the time.
Roland, I will let you know that even though she is an independent woman who don't need no man and goes disappearing a lot, you do have O'Connell's number.
That's true. I do have O'Connell.
I'm just letting you know. You don't have to. You can go with Claudia, whoever else you want.
But I think the question was more away from here. I don't know if Sunshine has a area that she can stash a little girl that's not my own place.
What you would understand is that it would probably be somewhere gross underground, if not out of the city. Because you know that she and Ben still have a place in, like, AC that they disappear to every now and then.
For now, she can stay with me. I'll text some people and see if I can arrange some kind of place for her to stay.
And you also know a seneschal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you got around town when you moved in.
For sure. But there's not everyone who I trust with my child.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, there is the option of hiring Tremere to lock down the place.
But yes, let's
Did you hear him?
go. Let's go and speak to Claudia, and I'll figure this out. But first, we need to figure out what we're doing about Dom.
I don't think he heard me.
I didn't hear you.
Felix?
No, I'm sorry, buddy.
You're
was
good.
being told something.
But it was kind of important, so let's repeat that.
Oh.
Felix said that you could hire Tremere to lock down the place.
Locked down in what sense?
The Tremere magical way. Like, no one gets in if you don't want them to get in. It's hard to find again. Certainly elevators just don't show up anymore. Doors don't appear.
And if he had a Tremere, would he be able to
do the same
this effect?
Oh. I don't know, Spira. It doesn't specify, but
yeah, I'm actually pulling it up now. Because also, I'm concerned about how it could work with just doing that on the bottom floor of a building and not affecting his club.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but they did it. They did it at the college because part of the college works and the other part is more hidden.
Yeah, but colleges have different buildings.
Uh,
It's because I've never heard of a situation where someone did it on a floor of a building, but I'm not saying Tremere wouldn't be against getting that done. There's like 4 of these rituals that do similar stuff.
Yeah,
so
there's
I'm actually
like
trying to.
It's like level 1, level 2. There's all kinds of rituals.
Well, if you're not
Tremere
doing
guys.
it right now, you just want to bring it up as a thing to Roland. I can check even over just our break to make sure that so I don't spend too much time reading through these like 200 rituals.
Yeah, Felix will say it the correct way, whatever the correct way is.
Yeah,
Sort of.
I think there is a way that would work for the most part.
Yeah.
Goddamn cats.
Ship it. It's canon now.
Clementine just brought home like 3 strays.
To be fair, Felix, I am new to this whole magic thing of you, Tremere. I don't exactly know how it works. I don't know. Get back to me on that, and we might be able to make that happen. Until then, Claudia, us, Ka, now, and he'll look around at all 3 of you.
Felix, are you involved in this as well?
I mean, if you want a magical person around.
Felix has made himself open to temporary employment on my behalf.
Basically, I'm willing to help.
Well then, I suppose back to Claudia's.
Also, who is this ghoul you are talking about? What is this deal you have going on? What ghoul? This isn't the guy that we kidnapped, right?
Yes, it is. It's
Oh,
Warren from the Set Tights apartment.
I'm sorry. I forgot he was a ghoul. I thought he
You're
was a vampire. Okay.
I have a lot of NPCs. I give a lot of generosity, and you guys are kidding.
Cool.
As long as you still care. That's all I need.
No, I care. I thought we were talking about a different NPC. Yes, let's go to Claudia's.
All right, and Nate will just nod, and I guess we make our way to Claudia's.
All right, let's check back in with Ike Rogers talking to his sire. So Ike is sitting in a chair across from his sire, Cairn, and discussing this book that Cairn has given him that discusses abyss mysticism, especially the first steps into it, understanding the path of the abyss, this kind of thinking of morality and humanity separate from what you would know as a human, and the early rituals that allow you to first take a glimpse into the darkness of the abyss. Just a moment ago, Karen had said to Ike that before they moved on with learning these rituals and his true secondary education, there was something else that he had to speak to Ike about. Ike, listen. I believe you have spent enough time as a kindred, especially the time I left you on your own, to your own devices, to start to understand how different we are from the human beings we once were. We can no longer live lives that follow this sense of humanity. You're not human. You are something greater, something advanced, You have a different understanding of the world by what you are and how you live and how the world affects you and how you affect it. So, much of our kind, and especially the Shadowed, the Abyss Mystics, we take to a certain path of morality, of understanding. It's almost like a philosophy, if you will. Instead of concerning yourself with certain outdated Catholic morals and virtues or understanding of civilization and citizenship, you become one with a path toward the abyss, toward understanding it, toward becoming one with it. And this can be difficult, changing from one ideal to the next, but it is necessary. You will not be able to accomplish these rituals. You will not be able to become one of us. You will not be able to understand the abyss without this. Is that understood so far?
I suppose, Father?
I won't sugarcoat it. I won't spend too much time. Well, we have plenty of time to talk about the philosophy itself. That I want to talk to you about. But the first thing is, and I need you to understand this, you need to break yourself away from this understanding of your human life, the way you would interact with humans or even certain other kindred, some of these Camarilla that you may have become close with. You must push yourself away from what they understand, push yourself towards the abyss, push yourself in a very strict way from standard morality. You will need to do things to reach this.
In case my inflection fails me here, Ike is going to say this in sort of a spiteful teenager kind of way to Father. Oh, yes, Father, of course. You've shown me all about abandoning the real or the lives of small humans and how to move away from them.
Don't be smart, boy. What I'm talking about is no simple task of reading a book, of trying to understand something. You need to change what you once were. Far beyond just dying and coming back to unlife.
uh, Father, I believe you prepared me for that long before you turned to me.
Well, yes, it was preparation, so perhaps you know exactly what I'm going to tell you.
I understand, Father, and I'm more than willing.
Good. In that case, before we move on with you learning the ritual of permanent sight, I would like you to go out this evening and prove to me that you understand what I mean.
Yes, Father.
And trust me, this is not something I will ask of you once you've removed yourself away from human morality far enough. Then we will begin your actual training, and you will no longer be what you fear you might become.
I understand, Father.
Good. And he's going to take the book and sort of, in a symbolic way, slam it shut and put it in front of him. We'll get to work when you return.
Yes, Father. As excited as I am, I'd be remiss if I didn't, before leaving, bring up, uh, your friend, and perhaps the favors we or you may owe him. It does not seem your character to play political
In a very
games.
clear show, he darts his head at the spare bedroom door and turns back to you with a very blank look.
Yes, Father. I will get going then. I do have a few other errands. I have tried my luck at some betting recently, and hopefully that may pay off. Shall I come back here or find my own place for the night?
Come back here, Ike, and he's gonna just, fix his lapels, and I will find a time for us to discuss your concerns.
Yes, Father. I will see you shortly. Thank you. Shall I leave the book here for safekeeping?
Yes, leave it here. You won't need it for what you're going to do.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. And I'm gonna mosey out the front door.
Alright. And let's get back to Angel and Kim. Outside
I
of
will-
Werewolf's apartment.
I will text Nate and ask what he's up to and if he wants to meet up.
And where would that fall into my timeline?
I'm still early morning, so.
That would be... No, but you were studying for a while. So it'll actually work out. You're heading back to Claudius and you'll get that text.
Response, Claudius.
Oh, everybody loves you, Nate.
Yeah, we should text Nate.
I think that's
Everyone,
great.
just go to Claudius. Let's all hang out in my apartment. It's K. We got the Primogen. We're going to go kill some Setites. It's K.
It's the
I think this
campfire
is a
scene in
fantastic
Dragon Age.
idea,
No, it's the
and not-
campfire scene in Dragon Age where it's just like, we're taking a break. Obviously, we go to Claudius.
Yeah, duh, this is not at all contrived. Nope.
Shut up, you're having fun.
Alright, yeah, so we're waiting for the werewolves to confirm that they, in fact, do have the documents that we put in that mailbox.
Yeah, so you are 2 blocks between Jeremy, who is intimidating in his own right, and the other woman sitting on the trunk with the kindred you're trying to save underneath her butt. Are you gonna hang anywhere in particular?
Nope.
I figured maybe a little bit closer to the trunk because want to grab him and go.
Got it. So, time passes. It does take a little while. The place you dropped off the paperwork wasn't very far away, but, someone gotta drive. The person wants to get there and check. So as you stand there, the female that is sitting on the trunk just sort of is tapping her heel and has a bit of a wry smile as she stares at the 2 of you.
Hello, says Kim, not caring.
I'm gonna.
So, what's your involvement with this Endotech shit?
Absolutely none.
None whatsoever, actually.
Just got some papers. That's our involvement.
You got the paperwork we're looking for, this shit that has blueprints
Yeah, and to be perfectly
contracts
honest,
and
we're
you
not
have
sure
nothing
how
to do with it?
We honestly are not sure how it connects. We're about as... I think you probably know more about this than we do. We just want him back.
I have connections. I asked around, got some paperwork. That's all I did.
Jeremy told me there was like a guy with dark hair and some, I don't know, Middle Eastern girl that we should be expecting. Why are we looking at a Mexican and I don't know, Chinese?
Cause they're fuck ups and they were rifling through my shit for some fucking reason. So
Huh.
Korean.
Sorry, never learned the difference.
Can't you, never mind.
So
Angel notes. Okay, so Korean. No.
Just writes on his wrist real quick. Korean. A few more minutes pass, and if you look and see Jeremy, he takes out a cell phone and he turns away from all of you, talking for a couple minutes, and nods, hangs up his cell phone, puts it back in his pocket, and gives a little two-fingered whistle over to the girl standing on the trunk. She shrugs, just kind of like, all right. She opens the trunk and then closes it again real quick and goes, she looks around, realizing they're still in kind of suburbia. Let's just drive out. There's a field out there. We'll make the switch there.
See, we don't like.
Okay.
places-
Her emotions.
Sure.
What emotions is she?
Yeah, always remind me if I forget.
Yeah, no, I got you.
You are seeing light green still. All of the werewolves, anyone who's around you is going to have a light green.
So that's
distrustful.
That's
but
okay, cool.
she is otherwise got some light blue going on as well. It's kind of a calm look. I don't have a color for her, but you get like also just a sense she's just like, let's just get this over with. Just not anxious, but just
so
like, let's just do it.
no sense of deception or
No.
trickery. Okay, fine.
Like Kim was about to be like, hold on, we don't like new places, and then Angel goes fine, and she's like, oh, okay.
So she's gonna get in the car without any more.
I will actually, very cryptically, because I know Kim has auspex. I will, whatever the color is, I will say, there's no mauve, or whatever the color is, so she can be like, oh, okay, duh. Without actually letting the werewolf have any fucking clue what I'm talking about.
That's fair. Okay, do we just hop on the back of this truck?
No, we drive out. We grab our van.
Oh, sorry. I thought we parked it a minute away. Never mind. Yes.
It's a little bit.
Van
of a
is
walk.
good.
Well, you're 2 blocks down. She pointed at a field that was like outside the townhouse complex, just so there's not like people potentially looking out their windows and seeing you move a body from one trunk to another.
Okay. So it's a little bit of a walk. It's not that far.
Nah.
Okay.
So she just drives out there, so it's like, a little away from street lights, definitely no windows to be like able to see too clearly what you guys are going to be up to. She's going to get out, unlock the trunk again, and start to move the tarp out of the way. You, as far as I understand how this stuff goes, not like we know how you guys work or anything, but like you might want to take this out in your own time.
Got it.
Yeah, we'll do that ourselves.
Right. Have at it. She steps away looking kind of like you guys smell.
Alright, let's get him.
Yep.
Kim, tries to get his feet if you get his shoulders. That's the heaviest part.
So once they leave, I'm sorry, my cat has a bag on its head. Anyway.
What?
So once she leaves, I could be like, we could just take the stake out now. Like, we have knowledge that he needs. Like, we know where his family is.
Assuming he's not gonna frenzy.
That's fair. I'll just heft him over my own shoulder.
As soon as you guys basically get him, the girl's gonna get in the car and take off.
Yeah. I'll without asking Kim for help, I'll just heft him over my shoulder.
You got enough strength for it, and he's not that big of a guy.
Okay.
If you have stream up, I got a picture. He is medium height, medium build. He actually looks like he might be a little shorter than Sarah. And she had called him her brother. With kindred society, you don't know if that means just similar clan, and she's calling him his brother, or there's literal biology there. But they do look pretty similar.
Right.
Dark, swarthy skin, dark hair.
All right. So I'm gonna grab him and I'm gonna start walking back.
Okay.
Back to your van?
Actually, maybe we should just leave this here and put him in the van, in the field.
Meaning, like, one of us go get the van?
Yeah, I will grab the van real quick.
Oh, she meant like for you to follow with your van to do an actual.
Okay, that's what I thought. So then,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do that.
We got really confused. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
The mass neonate strike again.
She meant go drive out to that field with me with your van, so you can get in your van and I can leave, and no one see me get a body out of my trunk.
That's what I thought at first, and then I got a little bit of confusion. But okay, then that's what we did.
Hey. All right, you now have Ash Bautista in the back of your van, brother to Sarah, as far as you understand it.
All right, well, let's head back.
I guess so.
Before I actually close the back, I'm actually going to. So when you're staked, you're still aware of your surroundings, right?
Yeah, you're good. You will, as normal, kind of pass out when the sun comes up, as normal. Okay. But when night comes around, you'll be basically awake.
Okay, so then before I close the back, I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm just letting you know, you're good. We know your sister. Leaving the stake in case you're really low on blood and need the frenzy. That's the only reason we're doing this. But, like, other than that, you're good. I'm not expecting too much comfort, but a little bit of comfort there.
Very nice.
And then they're going to get the fuck out of my goddamn city.
All right, so you drive back to your shop, Celestial Customs. And what do you do from there?
Guess we gotta call him.
Yeah, call him.
Yeah, I'll do it. So Kim calls the Ravnos peoples.
You got Sean's number, or not Sean. Greg. Sean was his cover name.
Okay.
All right.
So after a few rings, you hear Greg's voice, which you recognize. Hey, this is the doctor, right?
Yes, this is Dr. Brown. We have your friend's brother.
You're shitting me. Are you serious?
No, I'm joking.
Wait, what?
Yes, I'm serious.
Angel will actually laugh at that.
Ugh. You're gonna hear, from like a phone being put down by someone's hip, you're gonna kind of just hear muffled Greg talking to Sarah, and you're gonna hear a pretty genuine like squeal of excitement, and like she's gonna like start talking kind of quickly and asking a bunch of questions, and you'll hear him say, hold on, I'm still talking, then just shut up. And he's gonna put the phone back up to his ear. Yeah, great. Do you have him with you?
Yes, we are at the Celestial Customs.
We'll be there. And he hangs up.
Apparently they're coming.
All right.
Alright, so, trying to keep timing nice and good. Alright, a little while later, 15 minutes or so, because they were actually in a, motel pretty north in the boroughs. Greg and Sarah pull up in a bit of a beater. Looks like they might have just, as Angel kind of understands how this stuff goes, and he knows these two and what they do. Seems like they probably just lifted it out of maybe even a tow truck yard. And they park in the back section, that back parking lot of the shop, and just jump out right away. But they otherwise look a little cautious, looking around for you guys, for where they should be going.
I'll have Dimitri pull or guide them into the alternate garage, the insurance garage.
All right. So DeMarcus, you said DeMarcus, right? Okay. So
yeah.
DeMarcus walks them into the back.
I think I said Dimitri because my brain is not braining today.
Yeah, I was like, I heard D, and I was like, oh, do you mean DeMarcus?
Incidentally, during my intro, I called him Dom, so, you know.
Well, I know you call him Dom like D-A-M, but yeah. So DeMarcus walks all of them into the back building, where I assume you and Kim will be with him staked.
Yep.
So Sarah in tow goes running towards Ash.
I will stop her and say, "Hey, we don't know if he's gonna frenzy. That's the only reason we haven't taken the stake out. I don't want to cause a bunch of fucking problems."
She initially is physically like fighting against you to go towards her brother, but Greg runs up, grabs her other shoulder, and says, "He's got a point, Sarah. Calm down. We can't risk him frenzying here if he is that low. We don't know if they would be kind enough to give him anything."
Hold on. She kind of like pulls Angel aside a little bit. All right. Do you still have any of the bags that I gave you?
I got the one up in my fridge. You only ever gave me the one.
I can replace it. Let's see if we can't get him out of here. That way they don't have to carry him.
All right.
Greg's gonna look towards Dr. Kim and say, "Oh, you've got blood bags?"
Yes.
Hey, but it's nice stuff. And I will go up to my garage or my.
Only one though. Here.
So Greg's gonna furrow his eyebrows. Shit, you got like elder kindred blood or something like that?
Something like that.
What do you mean?
I've already started walking off.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. No, wait, no, Angel, hold on. No. Maybe not that bag. Maybe not that one.
Oh, well, that's the only thing I got. I don't really have.
We're trying to not cause a frenzy.
As reference, Sarah's just like on her knees, like looking Ash over, just trying to make sure he's not in any other like major physical damage besides the stake in his heart.
Yeah, I don't really have much of a need for blood bags.
Right. Shit, I can't go back to work. I'm pretty sure Fergus will find me.
Okay, out of character, how much blood does it take to keep someone mostly safe from frenzying?
As long as... Okay, well, so here's the thing. 3 dots in their blood pool, they're gonna be in a near starvation mode. If they smell blood, they're gonna they would have to roll. 5 is pretty safe at all times. However, the second that stake is removed, his body is going to automatically start using blood to heal it.
So... could you do like I don't know if it works like that. Can you like IV somebody with blood?
No. Kindred have to imbibe blood because the blood doesn't circulate through their veins. They drink it and their body absorbs it. Your blood is actually just permeating your body. That's why if you are shot, cut, or anything, blood comes out, but it's not from a vein. You won't have spurting arteries. You will have blood coming out, and that's it.
That was strictly speaking me asking, or Angel asking Kim. However, that means that she knows the answer now too. So,
and she actually, and she in character would absolutely know that because she got that book from the Dr. Nate church.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I hate to. Roland does have blood dolls, I think.
I guess it's safer. Yeah, sure. I think we can just point them there.
Sarah stands up after looking her brother over and turns to the two of you. Look, I can totally give him some of mine. It's not a problem. The only problem is how much can I give him that he still won't lose it. I don't know how far he's gone. And then her friend Greg walks up and says, I can give him some too. Look, between the two of us, he should be fine.
All right, so then the big important thing is making sure you don't hurt nobody while we give him that blood. I'll hold him down.
I can't. All I can do is disappear and make someone worse. I can try to calm him down. I can try to calm him down.
Too. I could too. I have a new toy.
I am confused and worried.
That would be presents.
He's like, I have a new toy. You want to see it?
Well, we can try. I can try to calm him down afterwards, but he is going to absolutely need blood, even if it is that, although I'm worried about the compounding effects. However, it is a little bit dramatically appropriate considering who staked him.
All right, we will take our next little break. Another AMA for 2 to 3 people. Who wants to hang out? All right, we got Roland. I will do so as well. How about one of you other 3 boys? You? Okay. Yeah. How about Felix? You two spent the night together. All right. We won't do like separate so much, just in general. If anyone in the chat has questions for Super Chocolate Bear as Roland, Articus as Felix, or me as Storyteller, go ahead and ask them now. We'll just go in order as they show up. Anybody needs to run off for a second, go ahead and do that. Just post your questions in the chat, and we will get to them. We're gonna go with Roland's music because it's fun.
Because everyone was like, yeah, it's a motherboard issue. And then when I switched out my motherboard, everyone's like, obviously it's not that. It's your power supply issue. And
there are only 2 things. It is motherboard and power supply. That is it.
Yes.
And I've never actually seen a power supply fail like that, ever.
Yeah, because it was midstream. It was working perfectly. We were streaming,
but I mean, like, the fact
and then
that
it just
computer starts and then doesn't post. If like the computer didn't start at all, it's got to be the power supply.
It's also weird that the power supply would just go out mid-use like that. I feel like, but anyway,
it could be a capacitor dried up, and now it doesn't actually give it the voltage that it's supposed to have.
Anyway, so I start my new job as soon as my P test comes in clean, and then I'll start making money, and then I'll blow all of it on a computer, and so we'll be able to play hopefully PUBG. Yeah, I quit FedEx, and now I am an appliance delivery installation man. It's pretty much the same thing, but instead of just running up throwing packages, I like walk up and I knock on the door and I stay there for a little bit and like put in your fridge or your oven or your dishwasher. Really? Hold on, he was a one-man installation or repair?
Repair. He was installation with a company. Then he learned enough to start a repair company.
I was going to say, like, that would be insane if your dad was just one-manning refrigerators upstairs to install them.
Yeah, I mean, he would do some of that too, but yeah, I know he's done that for a long time. It's pretty cool. That blue-collar work.
Hell yeah. Man work.
Yeah. Mike Rowe would be proud. I got a question. Huh?
What?
Oh. Which of the neonates do you figure has the hardest time climatizing to kindred life, and who is in the weakest position on the board? That's an interesting question. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of talk it out with the fact that Felix is the one with the least contacts, but that has almost saved him in some occasions. His not being involved with all of the politics and stuff. Ike has also been on his own, but he has a very powerful sire and learned a lot from the sire compared to the other neonates. He's actually probably the one with more advanced knowledge of kindred society. Nate is in the pocket of a primogen, so he's actually doing pretty good, but he is now also in the pocket of a primogen with a lot of problems on her shoulders, so that can be bad. Kim definitely has that problem of having a shitty sire who taught her like nothing. So she is always being told by other people, other kindred, like, how do you not know that? Angel's in a pretty solid place. He's got like a real business that is what his main focus is. He's got a good sheet himself and a decent sire, so I think he's probably doing okay. And Roland, pretty powerful, got a club, got a lot of friends around the city, but also is probably the one that gets into a little bit of extra trouble compared to some of our other kids around here. So let's see, if I had to pick, I love you, Super Chocolate Bear, but I think you're not even in the biggest shit, but you're a little bit of an instigator, so.
I would say I am in the biggest shit, but it's my fault. Like, I'm not sure if anyone's in as much trouble as I am, as far as we know, story-wise, but it was me just going balls to the wall, like, NPC we don't know anything about? Yeah, let's try and just fuck him over completely.
I'm gonna say, though, it is hella entertaining.
Yeah, this is why I do it, guys. Bring entertainment to the masses while they fall on my face.
I think Ike might be in the most precarious situation, though.
Oh, for sure, especially socially with these people you kind of care about and what you need to do next and things like that.
Especially because he's literally like, spy on the Camarilla for the Sabbat, but the Camarilla kind of trusts me.
Angel and Kim, I think, are probably the most secure at the moment.
Yeah.
Particularly Angel. Kim keeps sticking her nose where she shouldn't. But Angel in particular, I think, has the most secure, like, if something goes wrong, he'd still probably be fine so far kind of thing.
Like worst case scenario, that's what I have this van built for, is if I have to leave New York, I can always go and start up a new company, a new shop somewhere else.
Oh shit, I just remembered Kim has to meet with the prince, like, in the next week. Oh,
within
god damn it. Shit.
All right. Pretty good, Amy.
She's gonna have
nice
to say about the werewolves.
Let's get back to the game. So we have Roland and Nate are heading back to Claudia's apartment, and Ike had just texted Nate asking him where he was. Oh, and Felix is along as well. Do you have Candlestick with you? Nice.
Of course. Where else would I put him?
It's a good point. You don't have a house right now.
I
potty trained him.
Little mouse diaper.
When I get the text back from Nate, I would head over to Claudia's as well, just for timing's sake.
Okay. Alright, after a short drive, Roland makes it back to Claudia's apartment with Nate in tow. As you guys head up, and Nate would feel comfortable enough just, entering the apartment as his place of residence as well. You will just see Claudia on her laptop with a phone that she looks like she's just setting down. She looks up and sees Nate and a couple people with him. Back so soon?
I have friends.
I
Bonjour.
see that.
Claudia.
Good to see you, Roland. How's everything?
Not perfect, Claudia. I think that's a fair way of saying it.
Understood. And I believe it was Felix, correct?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Well, come in. Make yourself at home. Nate, is there anything you want to tell me?
Not particularly, but I do believe Roland has a few things on his chest he needs to get off.
Well, what is it, Roland?
Dom found some way into my apartment. Not only that was he able to break in, he also interrogated Clementine, and this is obviously more serious than what we were thinking. This timeline that we had hopefully can move up a little bit sooner of handling him.
Claudia stands up at mentioning that Dominic had apparently been trying to interrogate or intimidate Clementine, and shows genuine maternal ire on her face. Just, yes, no, that, we can't let that happen. She starts pacing as she often does when she's thinking. There's still so much that needs to be accounted for. We still don't know that much. We know about a few of them. I now know Dominic's sire by name and image at least, but
But you need to be able to find him?
No, that's not the problem. The problem is we either keep taking this slow, which I think is frustrating everyone, and I completely understand why. But if we go in guns blazing and try to take them all on, there's plenty of possibility that some of us aren't going to be walking out of there to see another moonrise. And even more than that, say we manage to kill all of them and stay alive ourselves. This isn't a city-wide Setite wipeout. The Setites are a cult. It's not unlikely that we would suddenly see some sort of insurgence or reaction from nearby cities.
I'm not I know, I understand that this is complicated, but I'm not asking for us to take out all of the Setites at once. I'm just saying I need some kind of. I don't want to say I want protection from Dom, but I need some kind of assurance that he goes before any danger comes to me and mine. Do you understand?
Listen, Roland, you mentioned he came to you with the packages of the werewolf blood, right? That are supposed to be sold during that big event next weekend?
Yes.
Well, that sounds like Dominic, at least, as well as probably his sire Yvette, and maybe even likely some of his cronies will want to attend that event. How could a Setite, even deny himself going to a huge kindred party that's going to be filled with sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Why don't we begin planning something around that?
You kind of see a abnormally big grin show up on Roland's face. Now we are speaking my language, Claudia.
So what?
Yes.
We find the vehicle that he's driving, plant some C4, and he has an accident in the middle of the road.
Claudia gives a big shrug. Could go as messy and simple as that. We could take some more time and come up with something a little quieter as well. She's gonna look over at Felix and kind of cock her head. You're a Tremere, right?
Yes.
No offense meant, but from what I've gathered about your clan, you've got quite a number of cards up your sleeves when dealing with all kinds of situations, right?
Oui.
Now, you have no reason to help us, of course, unless there is something I can offer you.
Felix is like so many offers, unsure on payments. Or just in mentally. Sure. Like, what? Not every day that, you get a request from Primogen.
True enough. I'm not sure what you might be interested in, however. Are you looking for some cash flow? Do you need a place to stay? Do you require, I don't know, certain harder to achieve materials for the things that you do?
More of the latter, yes.
More of the latter. Right, understood. Well, I think I can safely say with my position, resources, and cash flow of my own, that's probably not something too out of the cards. Listen, I'm not asking you to do anything specific. I don't even know what you can do. I'm just saying, anything come to mind with the idea of a ambush?
Let me think for a moment. Well, I would have capabilities of spying on him without him even realizing it.
That's always good.
There's no way, well, I hope there's no way, that Sete can see a ghost.
Claudia had stopped, but starts pacing again a little bit. This time, instead of thinking nervously, she looks like she's getting a little excited, and she's got a wry little smile on her face.
I'm very hard to track myself, and I can find someone just on a name or a face.
She starts sort of tapping her fist into her other palm and nodding along. Look, we've got a place outside of their own domain that we can get possibly most of them, especially if you, looking to Roland, she says, can make it a point of invitation to have all the set tight there. And she keeps walking and thinking, and if they get a little intoxicated, get a little relaxed, guard goes down, expect that they've got Roland in their pocket and that club's theirs for the night, we might have something to work with.
You want to... yes. Yes, I think I could do that. To be honest, Claudia, this is almost exactly what I was thinking, but I didn't think you'd be on board for it.
Sorry if I misunderstood, but it sounded much more like you wanted 4 of us to go in with a couple rifles and try and take these guys down.
No, it's not what I was saying. It was just... lately, there's been a lot of planning and talking and meetings and not so much hard dates and times of when this is going to happen. I'm just excited that we're finally making steps for this. It's a lot of weight off my shoulders. I can talk to some of the girls at the Rebels Kiss and make sure that they push the blood dolls that are more on alcohol and maybe some hallucinogens more so than the uppers. Make sure that we get them down and more susceptible to an attack.
Claudia gives you a big toothy grin that's even showing off her fangs that she seems to not be able to control. That's starting to sound like a plan. We might even be able to get some blood in there. I'm not going to subdue any humans to it, but, with something a little less pleasant in it.
Yes, I can handle that situation. The bigger situation is having enough of us to make sure that this goes smoothly. The whole upstairs I can lock down. That's fine, but if we do this, we need to make sure that we have enough guns on them or whatever we are going to use, that none of them are able to run downstairs and alert anyone who's down there, or even worse, be able to leave. And it could be a very poor situation if there's not enough of us.
Claudia shakes her head and starts pacing more. No, of course, no. This is not just get them drunk and take them out in the back alley with a crowbar. This has to be a full plan. We have to have this diagrammed. We have to have people in place. We have to know every single step they could make and be prepared to work against it. This is, this is going to be more than just a bit of a mafia bar fight. And she's still kind of tapping her fist into her hand. I already had a couple other people I was going to get in contact about this. I wanted to know what we were doing first. You go to these people, and if you don't know what you're doing, they look at you like an amateur. So I think we've got the right direction now.
That's still another week. Should we just pretend like I'm taking no extra precautions against him just walking into my place? Should I stash Clementine somewhere else? Like, he wouldn't lash out against me before this, right? Like, he wouldn't risk all this money.
I don't think so. I think he is counting on the fact that you haven't made a move and haven't even shown any over resilience to these plans. If he's threatening Claudia, he probably is confident he has you in the palm of his hand right now. Listen, you real quick, you did tell her that you got bonded to somebody, right?
Yeah, everyone here except Felix. I'm not sure if Felix was in the room for it, but most of the players know that I was blood bonded.
It's heavily implied.
Yeah. She's gonna stop pacing suddenly, pointing a hand at you and go, You are bonded to someone you trust, correct?
Correct.
Make sure to have them essentially command you to stay in character and quiet whenever you speak to Dominic. The bond should work strong enough to help you in doing that even outside yourself. Then go back to Dominic, go back to this woman, whoever she is, making the plans, and go forward with it as normal. In fact, try to be as involved in planning it as possible so you can know everything they want to do. Nate! She's going to turn suddenly. If you can do a face and go with him, that would be even better.
Sure. I would be happy to.
Does Ike ever show up here?
Yes. Sorry, it was a long conversation, but yeah. You can arrive and basically knock at the door now.
I will knock at the door now.
And Nate, like the good boy he is, will turn and go answer the door.
Oh, hi, Mark. I mean, Nate.
Who's Mark?
Oh, sorry. One of my homeless friends I was talking to. I got a little confused.
Anyways, come in.
And I will slip in the door and just kind of like look at everyone here and be like, is there a party I wasn't invited to?
Claudia just shakes her head, but she gives a very genuine laugh. No, Ike, right on time.
Oh, good! Are drinks here? I've always wanted to try beer.
Ike, what can I do for you?
Do I get the sense that this whole group was just about to break up and go its own way?
I'm not sure if we were, right? We're still discussing
still
things.
talking.
Oh, just discussing things. Oh, no, I just, this is like our headquarters now, right? I thought this is like, we check in, you sign a report card, we get a bathroom pass.
You see Claudia just rub her eyes with her fingers, and there's a slight movement of the knuckles that looks like she just could take them out.
I'm just gonna like sit quietly, like I'm not actually here for a specific purpose.
Ike, you were wondering what I was up to. Did you have anything?
Sorry, Nate. I didn't realize I had to have been blood bonded by a Setite to text you and ask what's up.
No, I was just curious. But anyways, then, I am going to go take a few minutes and practice a new face. When exactly did we want to leave?
Who are you asking that?
To you, Roland.
When was I know I told the lady, like, whenever I don't remember if there was a specific day I was supposed to meet this lady, but it's supposed to be soon, right?
It was supposed to be Saturday, I believe, so it would be the next night.
Tomorrow night. Gotcha. Well, I don't meet her until tomorrow night, so we don't need to leave anytime today. I don't have any plans really, so you're good with me as far as today. If you want to have a lesson with Clementine, I'm sure that'd be appreciated.
I'll work it into my schedule.
Who has Clementine right now, anyway?
She's here with us. I do.
My mistake. All right, but I will say, like, realistically, she would have stayed mostly quiet. She understands when there's serious conversations on to just listen.
Right.
She would have, like, found a nice spot on the couch and just sat down.
So, the music can be very loud. I just don't understand. What weapons are we going to use to take these men out?
Ooh, we're killing people now?
That depends, Ike. Do you have any strict morals about killing drug dealers or just stealing their products?
Clementine does peek her eyes over the couch now as you guys keep talking.
Oh, Roland, no stricter than I do about being blood bonded to my enemies.
Sounds good. Do you feel like making some of that money back that you owe me?
I never said money, I said favors.
Right.
But sure, if you'd like to call one in, I'm okay.
I could call a couple in.
Who are we attacking and why? Never mind. Fill me in on the car ride. I do have to speak to Claudia for a minute, though.
Of course, like, privately, I'm assuming?
Oh, yes, when everyone's done. I'm gonna lean over to Nate, get next to, closer to him. My cell phone got turned off. I think her card bounced.
Nate will just roll his eyes.
Okay, so we have 1 week to prepare to take out most, if not all, of the Setite in one go.
Oh, we weren't doing this tonight. Oh, that's a little depressing.
Well, look, at least the important ones, stragglers become cockroaches. They run and hide. You don't have to worry about those as much. You kill one big guy and there's 2 left, that's a problem.
Still, if we can gather enough of them and we have enough people on our side, don't make any dumb mistakes, should be relatively easy to clean.
Exactly.
And then there's the question of the prince.
What about the prince?
Is there going to be any backlash from us killing a very prominent business partner of the prince?
Well, if we don't break the Masquerade, there's no tradition to say she has anything against me. And, if we play this all right, who's to say I was involved? Who's to say you were even involved? How did that poison get in that blood?
Sounds fine by me. Let me go and try and figure out what we're gonna. When are we gonna figure out the final details about this? Should we?
You said that you're meeting with
time?
the woman tomorrow night. What's her name?
Hey, Spirit, what's her name?
Helena Panhard.
Helena Panhard.
Right. So you're meeting with her tomorrow night. Like I said, play this out like you are all in. You want nothing more than for this weekend event, Succubus Club, to work out perfectly, to be the hit of the Kindred season, skyrocket your bar into the top 10 in the city, etc., 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 and learn everything she has planned for it. The more we know any single event, DJ, people she's inviting, VIP, etc. Everything you know about that we can know ahead of time will help our plans. And again, get in contact with that person you have your connection with and have her help you.
Yes, I'll do that. As soon as I'm done meeting with Helena, I'll contact Nate and we can figure this out.
Perfect.
He looks down at Clementine.
She's just gonna have big, interested puppy eyes, like, what?
Clem, are you ready to go?
Yeah, Roland. It's nice to see you again, Claudia.
He'll look at Felix. Felix, are you coming with us or are you sticking around?
Claudia, do you need my assistance?
Felix, I don't believe I have your phone number. If I could get that, I would like to, talk to you soon.
Sure. And he hands he hands the phone over.
Oh, of course. She'll pull up contacts, type her phone number in real fast, and hand it back to you. I saw your number, so I'll type it into mine later. And I'll give you a call shortly if you have, errands you want to run the rest of the night.
Sure. I have probably a ghost or two I could talk to.
And a chantry with someone who's back. He's like, I didn't hear that. Alright. Claudia's going to look over at Nate and just, you heading back out, or?
Yeah, I think Clementine is overdue for a practice or two, so I'll be escorting Clementine and Roland back to their apartment.
Understood. Like I said, if you do want to come back, I have Byron coming by, and I gonna make a couple calls. I might have a few other guests this evening.
We'll try to be punctual.
Of course. I will see you later, and Ike, you wanted to speak.
Yes.
Alright. Real quick, we're gonna hop back with Angel and Kim. You guys are in Angel's shop with Ash is still staked, and Sarah and Greg have basically said that they're willing and happy to give him some of their blood, which should, no matter how low he is, hold him off.
Yeah. Well, I'll fucking hold him down, so.
Yep. Okay. So we're gonna. Why don't you And she kind of like points to the Greg and says, "Why don't you take the steak out of him, please?"
So, you said that to Greg?
We can take you to some place. Yes, yeah, I said
said
that to
that
Greg.
to Greg?
We can, and I said we can take him to some place. We know a place where there are blood dolls that you can get in and get him fed quickly. We can give him one thing here, but I don't know if it's going to help or make it worse.
No. Greg and Sarah said they'd give him their own blood.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Vitae.
Sorry, it had been a minute.
You're fine. Yeah, so, they're, looking at him with a stake in it, and Greg looks between all of you, and looks back at Angel. You got a good grip on him?
I do.
Alright. Greg is gonna put a solid hand around the wood stake that's in Ash's heart, and put his own hand against his shoulder to get some leverage. You see him close his eyes, and even though vampires don't need to breathe, he takes in kind of a breath and lets it out, and you see him kind of count 1, 2, 3 quietly just under his breath, and he pulls it out. Ash immediately kind of exhales just like out of a and you feel his body shaking, but he doesn't look exactly like he's going into frenzy. He's just shaking out of like pain and shock.
All right.
And Sarah runs up immediately, bites into her own wrist and shoves her wrist into his mouth. It takes a second, but then he starts to calm down and drink from her wrist. He starts drinking very deeply, and his own hands, like, grip her forearm. She's receiving the kiss, so her eyes, like, kind of close a little bit, and she, you see her legs shake a little bit, but she keeps her stance solid, allowing her brother to feed off of her. And after, like, a few minutes, Ash is obviously drinking pretty deep. She starts kind of whimpering a little bit and says, "Greg, please." So he'll help get her hand out of Ash's mouth and do very much the same of biting his wrist and placing it in Ash's mouth. He's starting to slow down now, though he's still drinking without stopping. You do see where the giant hole through his shirt and his chest, where it was wide open, just dark vitae and meat showing, starts to close over a period of about maybe like 10 minutes while these two are letting him feed. Eventually he takes his wrist back and holds Ash's neck away, as in that instinct Ash is still trying to feed. But you see Ash's eyes sort of like waver up, and he starts, it's just his body's moving and just sort of like coming back to his senses, and his eyes flutter a little more heavily. His eyesight, as far as you can understand, because he's just looking around like this, isn't great, but he starts seeing where he is. What the fuck's going on?
You're in a mechanic shop.
Sarah, who was a little thrown off from all of what just happened, slowly moves back toward him. There's a little blood left on her wrist, though she's closed the hole on her own, and she kind of grabs his chin to turn his face towards her. Ash, it's me. It's Sarah. Dude, you're all right. He sighs and still very out of it, weak and just tired. Sarah, what? What?
Okay, I think you guys have a bit of catching up to do. If you're hungry, I suggest you visit the Rebel's Kiss.
It's got a kindred upstairs. It got blood dolls there.
Greg just nods at you guys in genuine appreciation.
And then after that, get the fuck out of my city and don't fucking come back.
Yeah, of course. He's gonna try and scoop Ash's shoulder, over like his one arm, and nod at Sarah to do the same. Come on, buddy, we're gonna get out of here. And they'll start leading him out to that beater car they have in the parking lot.
At this point, it should be in the garage, but they can pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they get him loaded into the back, and Sarah, gets in the back seat with him, and you won't hear exactly what she's saying, but you can see she's just still kind of petting his cheek a little bit with her hand and talking to him very reassuringly and trying to keep him focused on her rather than his confusion. And Greg is going to double back a bit and head towards the two of you.
I'll raise an eyebrow.
Look, he's gonna look back towards Sarah and Ash. I ain't saying the three of us are saints. We make our lives off of Anyway, look, I'm sorry for causing you any distress. You're both rare kindred. I'm gonna tell you that. Actually helping us instead of just, anything else you could have done and forgot about whatever might be happening to her brother. I don't meet kindred like you guys often. So we're going to get the fuck out of the city. You're not going to hear from us again. I just wanted to say that. And he starts backing up.
We appreciate that. Take care.
Yeah. You guys too.
Pass it on.
He starts walking off, stops, and then turns back around to you guys and walks up, hand in a pocket, and puts out a paper card to you. That's my real number. No burn or anything. We're leaving the city. You won't hear from us unless you want to, but... And look, Sarah and I aren't, we fucked this all up. Ash is the mastermind, but the three of us together, we can get shit done if you need it.
Appreciate
Noted.
that.
Feel free to call in a favor.
Just,
Thank you.
You know, try and help somebody else out who needs it. That's probably good enough.
He
Honestly,
nods.
yeah.
He nods and goes, "Will do." And then he's gonna walk back to the car at a much faster pace and get in the front seat and take off.
It's this vampire pay it forward.
Great movie.
Angel should not be a kindred. He is not good for this society. He's too
so
innocent.
Cute though, and Kim loves it.
He's too
Oh.
innocent.
Oh, but you're so young. Don't worry. So many things can break a kindred.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
good.
I'm not saying like you're not playing
Oh,
a kindred
absolutely.
right. You just played one that someone went, the fuck?
Yeah,
You
no,
got
he is.
70
He is
minutes.
And it worked. Now we have now we're
Exciting.
owed a favor for Ravnos. Like, that's fucking legit.
Yeah. 2 Ravnos and a Ventru. That's not a bad combo.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right. But yeah. So sorry, getting back in.
Award unlocked.
Okay. Well, that went far more smoothly than I actually thought it would.
Not wrong.
We did it. We went into Werewolf House and lived.
Yeah.
So yes, don't know what's going to come of that. I'll actually see. I have to meet
Well, I
the
guess
prince
so.
next
When you
week.
talk to the prince, yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you. What happens there? God damn it! I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. So yes, thank you for letting me sleep in your car. I'm going to go to work because I'm sure I just have a feeling that Vargas is like lurking for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
I am fucking starving, so I
Yeah,
got
so
that.
am I. Yep. Have a good one.
You
All
too.
right. So, Kim leaves Angel and they are both off to do a bit of meal hunting. So, Angel, how are you going to take care of that? Your usual?
Yeah, my usual. I don't like feeding from people who are not well versed on what's going on.
All right,
Like, I can do it.
Which of your ghouls are you going to speak with?
I don't know. Like, this is kind of based on like whoever has most like. I try and kind of cycle through so that I'm not taking too
believe
much.
You most recently gave DeMarcus blood, so
Yeah.
perhaps if you do it in a similar fashion of you gave him some, then you ask the same person.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I try and alternate.
So DeMarcus is up at the front office, as he often is. He's sort of the, not cashier, but like front, frontman for the store. He speaks to customers directly and helps direct them to if they need repairs, if they need parts, etc. So he's just taking care of some paperwork up front, checking some numbers on some sheets.
Hey, Dom.
He turns around. Yeah, Angel, everything going all right?
We had a interesting night with some. There are no customers here, right?
At this point in night, you're definitely getting a lot closer to midnight. This is the time you might have a select special customer or two,
Alright.
but this is basically just you guys are just working at this time of
Yeah,
night.
all right. Yeah.
Store looks closed.
Had an interesting night with some wolves last night.
You messing with those again?
Less messing with them, more doing some work to get them off my back.
Well, that sounds good. Did work go
Gave them
well?
some paperwork that hopefully means they stop bothering us.
Sounds legit, man. You think it's gonna work?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna cause some kind of stir, but hopefully that stir is not going to involve me. You know what I'm saying?
I get you, man. Tanya's probably nearby, like, just, fixing some shelves. She's an accountant, of course, but, she helps around the shop whenever she can, if she's done her work. She just kind of looks over, smiling at you. Don't get in too much trouble, boss.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. These freaking wolves, Anyway, so, because of all that, getting kind of hungry, if one you don't mind.
DeMarcus looks over at, Tanya and just gives her, like, that kind of up nod, like, I got it. He closes a couple of the books and he'll head back to the back office with you.
Cool.
So you definitely clarified for me that when you feed them, you didn't really like the contact, so you do it in a glass for them. Of course, that's going to be a little more stinging and painful and hard to heal for a human.
Yeah, so I probably do a wrist thing because, like I feed from the wrist because that has a little bit less of a intimate connotation, and they have each other, so I probably feed from the wrist.
DeMarcus kind of leans against your desk and undoes the button of his shirt and just starts rolling it up, keeping it very casual. He's a strong, chill guy. Yeah. None of this bothers him. He knows it's just the way it works.
It's been a while. We've been doing this for a couple decades now.
Yeah.
At least a decade.
So he fully rolls it up to his sleeve, or up to his elbow, so he doesn't get any minor marks anywhere. Yeah. But as, like, he's doing this, he's still kind of just smiling a little bit, shaking his head. Man, I mean, I thought it was crazy enough when I found out vampires are fucking real. Fucking werewolves, and who knows what's next. Ghosts, witches.
Actually, apparently ghosts are real.
God damn it, Angel, I don't need to know that shit. I gotta go to bed at night. I still sleep like a normal person.
Alright, that's fair.
So he's gonna, like, come around the desk and just very, like, chill. Like he's getting his blood taken, just kind of turn his head slightly till it's over. Not bothered by it at all. Just, like, getting your blood taken.
Yeah.
You're gonna take 2?
So I will actually go
ghoul.
3.
He can handle a little more.
Yeah, I'll go a little bit more because I've been going a little bit hard.
Yeah,
I've used quick insight a couple times.
I was pretty bad about keeping track, but I think you were easily at like 6.
Yeah.
So you get 3 out of him. That'll put you at 9.
Yeah. And then I think I can handle a day or so, or a day or 2 before I've got to do it again.
9's pretty good. 10 is like full, even if you can have more. Think of it like that. Like 10 is a full blood pool. If you can handle more, it's because you're a lower generation.
Yeah. I like to be like full.
Yeah, I get that.
That's because I tend to get in fights, or theoretically.
Yep. All right. So after you close the wound, a little, lick.
Yeah.
He takes his arm back and rolls back down his sleeve and anyway, and he buttons it back up and looks back to you and just says, "So you think you ain't gonna see any wolves around here? Like, should I tell Tanya to get a leash and collar hanging up in the shop? Be careful."
We almost made him dig up the paperwork, but Kim said that would probably be
Oh, Jesus, Angel, you're too much. You're gonna get yourself killed.
But no, I think that they have lost their interest in this area. They got some other kindred they're interested in here soon, but hopefully that doesn't involve us.
Well, good. I hope that works out for you, man. That was pretty crazy. It's been quiet around here. It seems like.
Yes, it's hoping it goes back that way.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I want to finish up some of the accounts before we fully close up shop, and he's gonna like give you a hard pat on the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll talk to you later, man.
Gio's car, is that done yet? Like, have I actually finished? I don't know. It's kind of hard to...
You got the ghouls to start working on it. It's near done.
All right, then I'll probably go and work. I'll go work on something. Is basically what it boils down to.
Cool. All right, so yeah, he goes and heads out and leaves you for the evening. Kim, you need to get some feeding done.
Yep.
Which is not as easy as walking up to your ghoul and just taking a sip.
It could be.
All right. Who, where, when, why, how?
Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna try and get back into work. Fargus isn't waiting for me, is he?
You don't see him down there now.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and who did I get last time? I got a goal to find me somebody last time.
Tim.
I'm gonna try and do the same thing. Oh, Tim is the jumpy one.
Tim is the jumpy one. Aaron is the ghoul who usually finds you somebody safe with, like, in a coma or something.
Can't trust him to do anything right but run files. He's so scared. Poor guy.
I love Tim though.
He's oh god.
I love playing
like,
Tim.
He's like Jerry from Parks and Rec. That's Tim a little bit.
With more anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot more. All right. Yes. So let's find Aaron.
All right.
Crap,
so
I might really be down actually now that I'm thinking, because it's been, I think, like maybe 2 or 3 nights since I've had anything.
Yeah, and you didn't spend much, but that long, and you usually go a while even in between. Yeah, let's, again, I was having trouble keeping track, so we'll put you at 6. So you're very, very hungry. Or actually, no, you're definitely going to be at 4, I think, almost. We'll do 5. We'll do middle. You're 5. You went a long time, though. I know you did.
The more I drink, too, the higher difficulty it is for my dementation. Just putting that.
Yeah, but you also know that with humans, you can't take more than 2, so you're probably going to have to do this. This, you're probably going to need, because you know blood bags will make you still hungry. Yeah. At this point, you feel like you need to just feed on human, and then you can do blood bags for the next 3 nights, and it'll be okay. So you are at about 5. You give a call up to information asking where Aaron is. They clarify that he's on, floor 6. You give a call up to that nurse station, tell them that you need Aaron down in the morgue for some paperwork that you need taken out, but your hands are covered in, nasty things.
Yeah.
So Aaron comes down and, walks in the morgue. Yeah, hey, Dr. Brown, what's up? You needed some paperwork ran up?
Yeah, actually, I always do. There's some over there, but also I absolutely need, I need probably, I don't want to hurt anybody. A couple people I'm going to need to feed from today.
Like 2? 3?
3.
That's,
I know it's difficult, but you've always.
I mean, sure, but I think like that might be as many coma patients as we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, doctor, and he's gonna wander over and grab the paperwork and pile it up in front of his chest and start walking off. I'll give you a call.
I shouldn't have let it get this bad.
Yeah. But I gotcha. I'll see who I can find. Maybe even just I don't know, a deep sleeper or something. I got it. He's gonna walk out. Aww. So as you get to work on, a cadaver that you need to actually do an examination on, a little while later, you're gonna get a call from Aaron, and he's going to answer and say, "Yeah, we got 2 coma patients. The third is in ICU right now. They're gonna be watched pretty closely."
Idea. Yeah. Well, also ICU is not a good idea either. That's
yeah.
I'll try and see what I can do.
Okay. And then he's just gonna give you the rooms. They're, on like 2nd floor, one of them, and the second is on the 4th floor.
Okay. I'm gonna try and have the blood bags first, I guess, to try and sate that before I go up there, so it's not quite as hopefully as bad of an edge.
All right. How you have like maybe 2 bags on your own?
Yeah. Ugh.
All right. All right. So you have 2 blood bags. That'll give you 2 points. But now you're still hungry. You've gone such a long time without feeding on an actual human with fresh blood. You wander up to the 2nd floor and, you know, casually slip into the patient's room that is in a coma. He does actually have a 2nd patient in there, but they do seem to be sleeping soundly.
Okay, is anybody around?
Not in the room, outside. It's, you know, it's late, it's midnight, so it's just late staff. Even the lights are dimmed for patients to sleep better.
Oh god, I've never fed from 2 people before. Fucking damn it, this is gonna be a nightmare. Alright. Well, the CAT scan will be interesting. Sure.
Alright, go ahead, and are you having 1 or 2 points?
2 from each.
Okay. Alright, do you remember the roll for your...
It's willpower, I think?
Yes, I think that's what we've been going with. So go ahead and roll your willpower.
It's... No, you regain it every day, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, you have a permanent, and the temporary is to spend. So if I tell you to roll your willpower, then that is just the permanent number.
Okay, see, I put a shit ton of willpower just
I
in
know
case.
you
I
did,
have
because you were
7.
like, this is gonna be bad!
I should have done lower. It would have been more fun.
You
Okay,
can potentially lose
what's
it.
the difficulty?
You're hungry, so let's go with 7.
Hey, 2.
All right. So you feed off of this older gentleman. He's, you know, a little bit overweight, white hair, you know, but otherwise seems like just kind of an average Caucasian male character. You get a slight flash of memories, and he actually seems like he had a pretty nice life. He had a sweet little wife, at least like 3 kids, and 2 of them had grandkids. He has like some memories of like birthday parties and all that, but you definitely get the sense out of him that he is currently in a diabetic coma. He did not take too much good care of himself. So it's a little bit of a... It's a rough sense as it is getting these memories anytime you get them, but you don't feel too bad about this person overall. It's weird. It's like getting flashes of a movie in your head, but you feel okay.
Okay.
You head up to the 4th floor and walk into the room with the 1 patient. This room, actually, it is only the 1 patient. The other bed does seem empty, but just getting a look at them, they look like they may possibly been in a coma for a bad reason. They are skinny, emaciated, yellow skin, and go ahead and give me perception medicine.
Okay.
The 3rd roll of the night. All right. If you go up and actually give them a little bit of a basic examination and look at their chart, you find out that they are there for an OD.
Fuck. Shit. Fuck. All right. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna.
Yep. I will give you a difficulty of 6, though, now that you've had... you're back up to 9, so it'll just be normal difficulty for feeding on this person.
Okay. Hey.
Nice. All right.
I did good today.
Nice.
All right.
Now, you still get that initial flash of memories, and these are not good. These are rough living on the streets, being slapped by some men here and there, begging for drugs, all kinds of just terrible, unfortunate memories. This person, the last one, the brightest memory that come to you is them being alone in just like this room that was empty of furniture and using a needle in their arm before they black out.
Okay. All right. Not so bad today.
Not too bad. And Kim will return to her work in the morgue with happy grandpa and sad junkie memories floating through her head.
Yep. Okay. Guess I have to go back to work. I did want to scan it while it was fresher.
You can go ahead and do that if you want to find Tim. He's the one that actually has the best access to the machines.
Tim. Right. Okay, I'm calling Tim.
All right, so you find Tim, you tell him you want to go to the machines, and we'll do that a little bit more in downtime.
Okay.
We'll cover up what you find.
That's fine.
Let's do our last little small break and AMA, because we missed 2 people. I believe we have Nate and Felix?
I haven't gone yet.
Ike and Felix. Okay. All right, Ike and Felix are our last AMA members. So go ahead and ask Koznark as Ike Rogers and Articus as Felix Coate questions about themselves as players or as PCs, as player characters.
Oh, no, I actually win.
Wait, who am I?
Bodhi and Kos.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Nate and Ike, yeah.
Sorry. Then
I was
Bodhi
just
answers
throwing
as
my
Nate.
hands.
Nate and Ike.
Yeah, don't mind.
Nate and Ike. Shut up, I'm getting back into the groove.
Hi, brother, how are you?
Brother.
I mean, we basically are. We have the same mother/wife.
No. She is my sister, and you're going to keep your filthy Sabat hands off of her, or you're going to lose them.
I am not a Sabat. Entirely.
You're more Sabat than I am.
I'm so
There
happy.
go.
No, I'm so happy right now. The last AMA is Ike and Nate.
Ike, are you looking forward to the path? Or Ike, you're really looking forward to the path, aren't you? Well, yes, but I don't know if you've read The Real Path of Darkness, or their Path of the Abyss. In the new books, the closest thing that it equivocates to it is the Cold Path of Darkness for La Sombra. But the path of Shadow, whatever it's called. But the path for the Abyss Mystic specifically, which is what Ike is none of it involves killing people or hurting people or any of that stuff. So the path should function relatively okay for our game. And Spira does have sort of a mixed thing, and there's a bit of homebrewing here because I'm a philosophy major, and I'll argue philosophy all day long. So, or graduate. One of these days I'll stop saying major, but yes, Ike. Well, no, actually, Ike is not enjoying this. It's not going to be fun. Ike is going to have a really rough probably the next month or like the next 4 weeks of games for Ike are just going to fucking suck.
Yeah, like not telling Nate that Dory's around.
Who said I wouldn't tell him tonight? Yell at Spira. I've got like 4 minutes of talking. Joke egg, don't respond.
I know.
This is a joke.
Someone is sleeping on the couch. It's okay.
We don't even have a couch.
That's what makes it bad.
Build yourself a couch, then you can sleep on it.
But anyway, Macabre, we do a little sort of we bend the rules around here a lot to make things fun for stream and for us. We're not like hardcore, that's what the rule says, that's what you have to do. All of us, and not just me, like all of us here have the opportunity to argue with Spira for why we should be allowed to do something, and why it shouldn't break the game in some way, or if the book's like, no, if you do that, everything's ruined. You're like, yeah, but maybe not. If you come up with a good argument.
Also, I'll add real quick for Macabre. I started with like VTM edition 1, then learned 2 and revised, and then got into we're running VTM as V20 as our official system because I really like the way they cleaned up a lot of stuff. But I've had so much past with different editions that have different lore, different system styles, and things like that. I take V20 and I'm mostly using that, but especially when it comes to lore, I mix in what I liked from the past, or especially with V20, anything that's missing. When someone asks me a question, what would this do? And I know there's actually a canon answer in an older book, I'll use that. So I am homebrewing a bit, but we still use V20 as our base. Am I subverting the flaw of becoming a walking corpse because of losing humanity? If you mean the length of time they've been dead means they have to lose humanity, I play with that. I have some elders that aren't so bad off, but of course some that... I always take it as the idea, if you fight to keep your humanity, you can keep it. No matter, like, really how old you get. Up to Methuselah level. You can be 200, 300 years old and still have a higher humanity if you mean to fight to keep it. If you let yourself ebb and distance yourself from humanity, if you let yourself become, you know, more of a monster and you don't care about the fact that you feed to satiation, then you will lose humanity.
I think, yeah, Macabre's follow-up question, or his clarification there, and what he said earlier was that if Ike's on a path, then he automatically is disqualified from interacting with kind, because he's clearly a motherfucking monster. Yes. That I didn't read in the books, Macabre, and again, I'm new to this, so I don't know, but when I was reading about the path in the Lasombra clan book, you can be 9 on your path. That doesn't necessarily mean you're some hideous revolt. I don't know. I didn't read that, so you probably have a better look than I do.
I will address that real quick. So yes, no, if none of our players are even below 6, so I let them off with, they maybe look a little pale, and to the touch they may seem a little cold, because they'll be room temperature wherever they are. If they're outside and it's 70 degrees, they're 70 degrees, that sort of thing. But so our players aren't any lower, but some of my NPCs are. So I balance it that way. Yeah, as Mad Pagan said, 0 is Wassail, this like wraith-like kindred. Every ST should take a character away at that point. 1 and 2 level humanity, I take away too. Like, I'm like, geez, we had to talk about... I talk to characters by 3, if that happens. And that point, that's going to be rough. So with Koznark as Ike, if he gets down to 3 before he can switch to his path, it is going to really affect his gameplay. He's going to have a harder time dealing with humans. Even the kindred are going to recognize him going paler and looking more distant, acting more distant. His emotions will change by going that low before he can get on a path. But paths are designed to literally be humanity except altered. So you can be on a path and pass in humanity because you know you need to basically do it as subterfuge. You have to do it so you can still go and feed on people or influence a police officer, that sort of thing. Yeah, so when he's on a path, he's going to possibly have to do more roles with more social roles, if he wants to, like, act more human, and empathetic and things like that. But I'm gonna allow him to otherwise become more hidden, and he's not gonna be a monster. To a certain degree.
Also, to be fair, Macabre, we don't have many well, Ike specifically has almost 0 interaction with humans. So it's not a huge deal. He has a few, and most of those are with like cracked out drug dealers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Ike should have the roles to overcome that. We took that into account, but it's not like he gets a free off from it. But like I said, we bend some rules around here just because streaming. But anyway, back to not making this a Spira AMA, and maybe Nate's here too. Who Nate? We could do when Gregory comes walking up to you in the middle of the street.
Scream like a little girl, kill Nate, and choose a new face.
Alright, let's actually get back to the game, though. I have 4 more players I still need to talk to a little bit. Alright, let's say, like, you wanted to talk to Claudia, personally, quietly. Nate, I think you wanted to go work on your face, but you would probably do that in the apartment, correct? Alright, I will ask someone else instead. Ike, if Nate is still in the apartment, which I'm assuming he is, you're going to want to ask Claudia to go outside or something?
I'm really kind of hoping Claudia's more chill, like subtle about these things. She's not like, you, to my room now to talk about private things nobody else can hear. Goodbye, let's go.
No, she like wants to ask you
I know,
how private.
I'm gonna wait for. I hope she got the gist of naturally private. I don't want it to be like how she took what's his name into the room in front of everyone. Like, what the fuck is that? Let's listen now.
Okay. So Claudia,
I'm expecting her to make it smooth. That's it.
So Claudia's going to sit down on the couch and say, like, you wanted to speak to me about something?
I mean, Nate was leaving with Roland and Clementine to go do fencing and other things. So.
Oh, okay. At one point you said, like, you were going to leave to work on a face, but you left with Felix and Roland. Okay, fine.
No, he was like, do I need to go start working on my face now, or how much time do I have? And we established this tomorrow. So.
Good. That makes it even easier. Ike, you are now alone with Claudia in her main living area, in her apartment.
Ike will just hang out quietly until Claudia says something.
She said, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, sorry. Claudia does understand at this point now what she is and what her abilities are as far as telling who's a liar and stuff like that, right?
She has very high perception.
No, but Ike understands what her clan is capable of as far as telling if someone's lying. Like I said, well, Ike's already demonstrated he knows about all the clans and what they do. So he would know that she can tell, read his aura, see if he's lying and all that stuff.
No, Bruja doesn't have that. She is very good at it.
Oh, Bruja? I thought that was a Bruja.
Nope.
Oh, never mind. Okay, good. Never mind. Sure, fine. Claudia, you've been very accepting of me. And obviously you've had your, I guess, doubts, and you've set me aside and you've kind of put me straight at a couple points and really talked to me. And I know that I haven't always been the most truthful, but I kind of want to repay you for what you deserve, and something I actually think is important for us, all of us, mainly me, you, and Nate. But I can't, I don't know how to tell him, and I want to, I really do. I want to tell him, but I need your help first.
Wait, what is it you want to tell him?
Well, I want to tell you, and you, please keep trusting me after I say this. Please,
I understand. Look, Nate is my child. Bear, come here. Sorry. The fluffy one's getting pissy because he's not been touched in 2 hours. Anyway. Ike, listen, Nate is my child, and beyond that even, I care very much for him. I want to keep him safe. I want to make sure nothing causes him distress or any worries. Blah, blah, blah. You understand. So, alright, like a psychotherapist, if I think there's something I need to tell him, I may. But if what you tell me, what we discuss, is fair enough, I feel safe enough keeping it between the two of us.
That's not my problem. I don't care if you need to share, although if you do feel like this should be shared, I just hope you'd let me say it. But more importantly, I want to tell you something, and it's going to raise some questions that I don't want to answer quite yet. But I think you've given me enough chances that I'm okay sharing this, even though normally I would consider this callous.
Does this have anything to do with your clan?
This has everything to do with Grigore Vassal.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Has Ike ever told you about Father?
You said Ike.
Or, sorry, has Nate ever told you about Father?
Yes, the Jamisi who owned his Revenant family. Wait.
Grigore Vassal.
Okay. Are you saying you know him?
I know that he's looking for his quote-unquote son, Nathaniel Ward, and has asked me about this.
Okay. Is he in the city?
I haven't left the city.
Right. Okay, Ike, listen. I will entirely understand why you wouldn't want Nate to know this right now, and why if anyone was to tell him, listen, but that is a lot. Look, Nate, when I took him, when I embraced Nate, and he joined the Camarilla in the war, he told me everything about the Jamisi family he served, and where they were located, and everything we needed to do to wipe them out. And
the agreement was, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, you would kill Grigore.
We sought out that location, and we searched it. We found a few revenants left behind, but the war had already started. They knew what was happening. They were long gone. We tried as much as we could to use the resources we found in the place where they could possibly go. We did all the research we could. The Nosferatu did everything they could.
Claudia, you don't have to justify to me.
No,
it's not important to me. This is why I didn't want to speak to him, because he found out about any random Jamisi in the sewer and lost it. I'm afraid if I tell him this, he'll never come back, and worse yet, he may see this as my fault. And I swear to you, Claudia, I swear, I never saw this. I had no idea. I had to put the dots together. I did not invite this.
Nate, Ike, where did you see him? Did you meet him? Did you know him before?
I didn't know anything about him. I know of the old archbishop of the city, and I know
everybody knows Bologna. Where did you meet this person?
Again, I haven't left the city. Or not recently.
So he came to you?
Claudia, I have not left New York City.
All right, I get it. You have something you can't tell me right now. You have been nothing but relatively forward with myself and Nate so far. And obviously this shows that again. I'm going to assume you don't want to say any more.
I'm walking a tightrope, Claudia. I have given you what I can. He is looking for Nate, and that's dangerous. It is also dangerous if Nate disappears all of a sudden, and I'm the only one who was asked. I trust you. I didn't know what to do. That's it.
I appreciate this information, Ike, because this is of great concern for me. I care about Nate, and what I know of his past, I never want anything to come up for him again. Listen, obviously there are some details you can't tell me or don't feel comfortable, or there is someone that, for whatever reason, is a reason you can't. I've been here. I've been in this life, in this society. I've been a kindred long enough. I understand. I was the one who helped the Midnighters, if you've heard of them. There's a couple of Sombra amongst their group, and even one of them is now an anti-tribu.
Yeah, she introduced me to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. She literally said, "Go find these people and talk to them."
I was making sure. Yeah. So you understand the Midnighters. I was the one that helped them acclimate and make sure that no one in the city was too discriminative of them with their past. They obviously didn't give a shit about the spot. So listen, I am probably the one Gidget in this entire city to entirely understand how you feel right now with this past that is following you and the people you now know and care about. Listen, for right now, I will not say a word to Nate. I will otherwise...
I'm not here for... I don't need I'm sorry, Claudia. I don't need a counseling session. I'm okay. I'm fine. Should I tell Nate or no?
She starts, rubbing her, bridge of her nose, just... She looks away. I think at this time, give it a night.
I've given it a night, Claudia.
That makes sense. The problem here is, I don't want my child fleeing the city out of fear. Do you understand?
I don't want my friend lynched in the streets and burning at dawn.
Exactly.
So obviously time is important, and we all know he's in the unique position of not looking like him.
He is, she says, furrowing her eyebrows. Is that your suggestion, then?
These are the things I have considered. My fear being that I was asked, and then it becomes clear that I was the only person asked, and then he disappears and I lose my face.
Well then, Ike, if you're up for it, are you willing to stay with me until he returns? Or I can tell him the information myself.
I want to tell him, and I want to explain how I know, but only to him.
I understand.
Or at least explain myself to him in person.
I understand. I'm not leaving my apartment. I have people coming later tonight. So stay here as you wish. I will text him in a little while at least to make sure that he does come back tonight and we can discuss this.
Thank you, Claudia, and I hope this helps repay the disparity of honesty that has existed between us so far.
Like, you, I don't know how long you've been in our life. You seem like you have a bit more experience than some of these other neonates I've been talking with. But I think you understand that even kindred can keep good relationships after a few lies. It's just the way our lives work nowadays.
One would argue it's necessary, Claudia.
At that, we will find out what Roland, Felix, and Nate are up to heading over to the club.
It's still the morning.
And here you go, darlings, because you had to have it at some point.
Bennett. I don't hear it though.
Might need to reload Roll20 or...
20.
Can't have season premiere without the song. Alright, so Roland, Nate, and Felix arrive back at the club. It is late on a Friday night. Club is pumping. You can hear some nice music from upstairs, but y'all head back down into the basement with Clementine in tow.
I'd send a text message to Sunshine just asking if she'll be around for the day.
Alright. You send the text, don't get it immediately back yet.
Felix too will, after at least 5 minutes, send a text as well to Jocelyn. Kind of like, that's good. It, so less more words.
Alright. And Nate, you are in tow.
I mean, don't have anything specific, so I would be bringing my equipment and dragging Clementine off to a side of the apartment and starting to take her through drills.
So Clementine looks a little excited and, just actually almost like jumping up and down. And she goes and gets her little rapier and gets into position with you. She's obviously been practicing. She has her stance down pat. She has like her arm in the perfect position. Not necessarily that means she can fight well, but she has those starter moves down.
Yay, Clem.
I have Steven Universe music playing in my head now.
To do for her.
So while they're doing that, I would kind of have a conversation with Felix. Is Modi going to do like roll or anything like that for the lessons, or?
Yeah, just before we get to that conversation, let's have Modi roll intelligence and melee. And Clem will roll as well.
I have that.
Nice.
That'll
Nice.
be 4 successes.
One. She's a little distracted by that conversation that happened in Claudia's apartment. Not department, apartment. But otherwise, she is paying attention, but like you can see she's a little distracted. So as she works with Nate over some of the movements, she realizes she's even doing poorly and kind of with some resign puts her rapier down, hangs her head a little bit in size. I'm sorry, I don't know. I was practicing like the last several weeks.
Clementine, you're just... When you're getting ready to fence, to duel, you need to clear your mind of all distractions. I know that a lot of things are going on with the business that Roland is involved in right now, and Claudia and the rest of us, but when we're here, when you have a blade in your hand, you need to clear your mind of all of these distractions. There's only you, the sword, me, and mine. And that's all we need to focus on at the moment. You can pick up the rest of this when we've finished with the practice.
I get that, but how? Everything everyone was talking about seems so serious. I'm worried about Roland and you and Claudia.
I appreciate the concern, Clementine, but it takes practice, it takes discipline to clear your mind and just focus on getting it out of... Just focus on the blade and don't try to let these thoughts in. It's difficult but necessary. There's always going to be something, especially if you need to use a sword for real, that who knows what danger you'll be in, somebody you care about, and if you let that distraction get to you, you'll make yourself vulnerable. It's just try to focus on clearing your head and focus on just the blade.
She looks down at her rapier blade and goes, okay, so focus on the blade. So when now I feel pretty confident. I don't have to think about the moves as much, but before, when I had to focus on them, kind of focus on what I'm doing, right? Just that.
Exactly. If all you're thinking about is the next movement you're going to make, how you're holding the sword, this or that, you're not going to have time to have distracting thoughts.
She gives you a big grin and goes and gives that set of moves a try again. She doesn't do much better, but she seems at least more happy and focused, where before she seemed a little anxious. I think I got it, and I think I might just, I don't know, maybe need a night's sleep or something.
Well, that sleep would probably do you good. Don't give up just because you're distracted. Give it to me one more time.
No. She shakes her head very, excitedly, like, I'll never give up. Oh my god.
Nice.
She slices Nate's kneecap. Nah, she got it. She got the protection on the end of her rapier. But she, takes a deep breath and focuses and moves through every single set of moves and movements that Nate has taught her so far with practically perfect precision, and then stands like a gymnast at the end of their trial, with that kind of like, I got it!
Good job, Clementine. Just takes a little focus.
Thanks, Nate. Alright, now Roland and Felix have a bit of a conversation going on.
When we got there, Felix, where would you have moved to throughout the room? Would you have gone and sat like a weirdo somewhere in a corner?
No, that's where I go to sleep.
Okay.
The weirdo corner is just for that. I guess he probably would just take a chair, do something on his phone real quick. By real quick, I mean 5 minutes, and then watch the fight while deep in thought.
Roland will kind of just stand next to you. So you obviously heard the conversation that we had at Claudia's.
Oui.
And your feelings about it?
It sounds like they screwed with you and you want to screw them back.
And I don't want to make judgments on our past, but you might not be the best with fighting. I could be wrong, though.
I have tricks up my sleeves.
I'm essentially asking if you would like to join us.
Sure, kind of sounds like fun.
Would you be... I have to be honest, this whole magic thing with you, I haven't seen much of it. I've encountered it once. I've heard, obviously, tales and stories about it, but I don't exactly know what you and yours are capable of.
Sure, are you asking for a demonstration?
No. I mean, if that's something you want to do, that's fine. I would trust you, but if I just want to know we don't have to babysit you if there's some kind of engagement.
Oh, no, I would have plenty of babysitting myself. I have pretty well versed with corners and hiding in them. So, no, I'll be fine.
Okay, well, I just want you to know what you're getting yourself into and what you're signing up for, because it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, but there's a saying in French, c'est la vie.
Yes.
Which is usually c'est l'amour with us. That just means death, but...
Well, if you're willing to help me, then you're totally welcome to stay here as long as you like. Please, if there's anything you need, let me know.
Thank you. Well, I was thinking that I need a bite.
What time is it, Spira? Would like the club be going on and blood bags upstairs? I don't actually really.
No. This is pretty much a little bit past midnight. Not too far. Your club for Friday night, which it is now, totally gonna be open until minimum 4 a.m. It's still open, whatever time it is, really.
Gotcha. Yes, please help yourself. Go upstairs and get whatever you need.
Thank you.
Roland will kind of like put his hand on the shoulder, and then he'll go and get a better look and watch Clementine and Nate.
Just about the time you go and watch them, you see Clementine pull off a fantastic set of moves and maneuvers that Nate is still, backing off from, but as a good instructor recognizes that she would have, by his stance and her performance, done very well, like if she was actually trying to do something. So you see him backing off slightly one foot or the other, and she is moving her rapier in the right directions and performing a perfect beginner's maneuver.
I'll give a little clap.
She gives a little actual, kitty kind of jump, I did really good on that one. I didn't do so good on the other ones, but that one worked out really great.
Focus, Clementine. Don't think about what I'm doing.
No. I got it. This is really fun. Like gym class was really cool and all, but this is way cooler.
Roland will just stand there and watch.
Not quite. He's kind of. Well, he's acting like I'm gonna go upstairs and grab a bite, but he doesn't like sharing. So he's having like this contemplation in his back of his mind and going, should I just call one of the girls? And then he gets this awkward like, but I don't want to call them, but I do, but I don't, but I do. Which might take longer than what's here right now, but
Perfect. All right.
he might have some awkward calling conversation eventually.
All right. So Nate and Clementine are doing a little more fencing practice. Roland is watching, and Felix is trying to decide exactly how he wants to get a little bite tonight. That is where we will wrap it for episode 1 of season 2, New York by Night. Thank you everyone who came out and watched, especially all of our longtime viewers. Welcome back after our little break. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you have not joined our Discord, the link is down below, right beneath the video here, so check that out. We also have our YouTube link, which will have all of season 1 if you've missed any of it or want to rewatch for any reason. Go ahead and check that out. Also our other games, Hunter and some one-shots and all kinds of things like that.
Anarchs.
And our Anarch game. Yes. They can see it if they go to the link. But yeah, check out the Discord. Join us there. We always talk after the games a bit. If you have any questions for more characters, we will probably answer them there tonight or tomorrow. And we will see you. Let's see, today's Tuesday, so Friday.
Also, don't forget to check out Elvish Dame's art stream on Wednesdays.
Yes, I am actually starting that back up. I had some technical difficulties for a while.
Yes,
got mad
perfect.
At my computer,
Good.
But...
Good to know. Yes, every drawn, painted image you've seen of the characters on our stream today and my banner, as well as the art that was at the very beginning of me as a puppeteer, were all done by the lovely Elvish Dame. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. EST-ish, should be the starting time. Check that out. She's a fantastic artist. She'll do fun stuff from our games as well as anything you request if we have nothing else going on. But yeah, thank you all for checking it out.
Play the intro. Play the outro. Outro.
We love it.